Hi guys, it's Friday. Time for wasted lunch again. Today, I got my coffee. Got only a couple cigarettes. But today, Friday, time is 11:53 oven standard. And I talked about it a few days ago about having a special guest on here. Very close friend of mine. And really excited about this. It's going to be the first time he's been on. It's the first damn time he's been around for a long time. And I think I even said the other day it's been about 8 months. Please welcome Scott Harwig.
Hey, what's up, people?
Or as we sometimes call him, Scotty the Harwegian. Okay.
Harwegian wood. Isn't it good?
Yes. Isn't it good? Harwegian wood. And my dude here, it's been 8 months? 8 months?
8, 9 months.
And I'm going to try and tilt the camera down if you haven't.
Yeah.
Scott's a little bit shorter than I am. I don't want to get him a phone book and make him feel, you know.
I was always the shortest.
Yeah. Although I do have a large medical dictionary over there.
I don't think it matters.
No. What's up, Helen? Anyway, we're here in the kitchen studio, of course, and Scott grew up here, Northeast Ohio, Massillon, just like I did. In fact, 2 doors down, and ended up
once or twice.
Yeah. Well, ended up on, like I put in the title, on a Scott-odyssey. For lack of a better term, dude.
Impromptu savage journey.
Yeah. Yes. Here's my daughter. Yes, what do you need, babe? Do you want to watch TV?
You're getting big.
She is. She's getting
growing right up.
What do you need, baby? Yes. My daughter is now asking about TV in the basement.
No.
What?
No.
You guys know this is how things roll around here.
No.
Do you want to watch a show?
Yeah.
Go watch a show. Live and unscripted. Isn't that what the hell they call that?
Right.
Life unscripted.
Man. Kids these days, too, man, they're seeing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the first titties I saw, other than my mama's. Sorry.
Is she out?
She's out of the ring.
Okay.
But legit, the first titties I saw, other than my mama's, was Apollonia, Purple Rain.
Wow.
And I watched it on beta tape at my cousin Jeremy's house. We had to sneak to watch it. And we went down in the basement, and it was like, yeah, thank you, Apollonia. But man, these kids today can just on their phones and everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You know what? Before we go any further, warning, guys, because you know sometimes the show will actually be kind of family friendly. Sometimes.
Okay, so we're gonna watch it.
Well, we'll try to be super, but what I'm saying is this today is definitely not going to be one of those shows.
No, there's gonna be a couple, probably.
This is not going to be one of them. So, do not watch this with the kids.
I'm saying it's wrong. It's just probably not PG.
I mean, I imagine people don't sit around that often and watch my show and say, hey, let's get the tots out and watch Paul McVay's Wasted Lunch.
Right.
But still, there it is. Disclaimer. And nothing we say, we're not endorsing that you do anything.
Nope. Definitely not a lead to follow.
So there's that. That's all I'm saying. Helen, what do you need? Uh-oh. Here comes... I don't know, babe. You're going to have to find it.
Mom.
Well, if you have to go without TV, you have to go without TV.
Oh, no.
But, yeah, life without television is rough. But, what happened? Well, I love Scott anyways. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Scott was in the next town over in Canton and he was tattooing like what used to be usual. It doesn't matter. I'd still be geeked about having him on the show.
Likewise.
But something very interesting happened 8 months ago or about 8 months ago, and that is Scott ended up busting out of Ohio.
I did. I left Ohio in a shitstorm.
And
a lot of things
sort of
happened.
abetted by me a little bit.
Right.
I was grabbing your ass and getting you over to your dad's.
A lot of things
Remember
happened.
that night? Snowy as hell.
It was 4 degrees. Yeah, a lot of things happened. And I think I had a little over $300. I bought a bus ticket to California. It was $275. And it took me from Cleveland, Ohio to Skid Row, downtown LA. So I get off in downtown LA and I'm like, I'm in California, this is dope. And then I'm like, what the fuck is going on out here?
And you were at the Skid Row when you hear it in the movies.
I've been called Skid Row by Sean McAllister and a bunch of other people. Skid Row, Scotty, Skiddy. And I always thought it was a form of speech, but it's not. It's a real place. And it's right by the police station, downtown LA. There's 6th Street, Las Pitas Avenue, and it's just trash and homelessness, and then mental illness, but also add methamphetamines, heroin, and XYZ on top of all this. And it's a mess. There's rats sleeping underneath people. Literally, a rat will come out and check you, and then crawl up underneath a lady who's sleeping on the curb. And I was just like, because you really think you've seen it all, and then
but you never seen any shit like that.
No, never.
I've never seen anything like that.
And it's the belly of the beast. It really, really is, man. You see what $1 will do, and you see what $1 can do, because like the juxtaposition of like Ferraris and stuff rolling around LA, and then people that are just like straight hungry is just both.
So you get in LA, you got how much money?
When I hit LA, I had $17.
$17 in California.
Right.
Southern California, and you got $17.
Right. And I just sat and I of course bought some marijuana, which is a silly. You find out a silly thing to do in California because it's so everywhere, and there's so much. There's so much of it. It's like $5 in California. It's like they say, hold out your hand. They just,
wow.
So, first thing I did, I just sat and I smoked a joint and I just sat there and just observed like it was a movie. Like, wow, this is mind blowing.
What was in your mind heading out to California? There had to be some picture in your head of, boom, this is what California's gonna be.
Yeah.
What was that picture? I mean,
I'm thinking like way more progressive mindset. Way more like instead of being like the weirdo or the novelty item, I figured like I'd probably be a dime a dozen. I was fine with that. I wanted to fit in and be like, and then I thought, I'm gonna make way more money tattooing. I'm gonna go to maybe
what's up, Sean?
A veterans shelter, and then parlay that into like a work environment or whatever. But you soon find out in California that if you're down, you're gonna stay down. And it's not even that bad being down in California. It's not like you're down. You still eat, you still sleep. I saw beautiful things. I saw things that I would never be able to afford to see. Like there's no way I could ever went through Malibu or
Now, Sean, I want to do a sound check real quick. Sean, buddy, can you hear Scott all right? Because, I know I'm a loudmouth. I know I am, all right? I've got no problem admitting that. But are you hearing Scott good? This is the big technical. Y'all know I am a Metro Billy. So I'm just making sure that people can hear us, we're in backwards vision. Okay, good. He can hear you. Sweet, rad. Thanks, dude.
Sean, thanks for tuning in, man.
Yeah, and Sean, we were on yesterday. Jeez, smart young man. We were on for 2 hours.
Yeah, the hours flew by.
So yeah, you tuned in some.
Tuned in, yeah. I did for a while, and then.
I think it turns into a kind of a radio show for some people.
It does, yeah, because I was looking at other things, and then something wrong with my phone to where it's like it just clicks off once in a while. I need some new technology or something.
We're gonna use you, Sean.
Anybody that has a phone charger, I could use an Android charger. I don't have any money, and my tattoo gear is not here, so I'm not gonna tattoo you for a year. So if you just want to give me a phone charger, you know what I mean? I'll give you a high five.
Alright, yeah, we're on Wasted Lunch. We actually are. Oh, here comes my lovely producer wife.
You can read that, not out loud.
Oh, don't read it out loud. Okay.
Yeah, we're working out a children's book.
Yeah. Okay, so where were we? So you get to California, but I mean, did you have a picture in your head of what California would look like? I mean, like babes in convertibles and stuff like that. Because that's what I thought when I was a teenager and went to California. I thought blonde-haired girls in red convertibles.
There is that. My total the only thing I knew about California was the Point Break movie and Three's Company.
Oh, wow. Jack Tripper.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
That's not a whole lot to go on.
Yeah, that's not. But it turned out to be, I mean,
I'm going to leave you
Scott,
these pages and go
Scott messaged me, and he's like, dude, there are rats crawling out from under people.
Ew.
Okay, and the picture I had in my mind was seeing them weave in and out of people.
Yeah, and they're not like little grubby rats either. These are like rats that are like well fed and their fur is nice and they have like little Muppet faces and stuff. But they will come right up even on the beach. Even on the beach in San Diego and stuff. I had I woke up different times and had rats around me like, hey, you gonna eat that? So you learn to not have food on you or around you. They love bread products and stuff. I know it sounds gross.
So unfortunately.
It was a savage journey.
So you get to Los Angeles, and then you ended up at a cousin's or relative's.
I get off the bus in Los Angeles, and I knew I couldn't stay in Skid Row. That was obvious that I wasn't gonna sleep anywhere in LA. So I got a pack on me that weighs probably 180 pounds. Like, I can't leave home without this. I can't leave home without that. So I'm carrying this 180-pound pack around LA, and I'm brand new. Everything's brand new, and it's fucking fantastic. And I'm like, where's the beach? So I take a bus to Venice Beach, and Venice Beach is artists, musicians. It's almost everything I thought California was gonna be.
Cool.
But the problem is it's just like, instead of being artists and musicians, and it is that, but there's so much rampant drug use and stuff, and I'm talking, I've never seen anything like it, where people are like literally, the cops rolling down the road, and he's looking at everybody, and people are just rigging up, smoking, rolling meth pipes, shooting dope, and screaming at demons, and the cops are like, meh. Like, they just, coming from Cleveland and, Massillon, Ohio, this area is just like, there's so much of it that it doesn't matter.
They can't worry about every single little thing.
Yeah, I think it's lost something. Like, it's not so much like artists and musicians and stuff. Like now it's like, people are just like, it seems like it's riding on fumes, man. It really does. Like,
you mean California?
California, yeah. Like, I really feel like, I think like back in the day, like Venice and everything that it represents, like the travelers, artists, musicians.
Hi, Crystal. Hi, Jonah.
Still there. So, it's still there. Still a thing. I mean,
right.
And they want artists there. They want musicians there. Like, they would put out art supplies and canvases and stuff. They just put stuff out on the curb, like new stuff.
For grabs.
You take this and like. Whole cakes and whole pies.
Yes, whole pies.
Whole pies.
Yes, Scott, what is it about whole pies? You said something about whole pies. You said, have you ever eaten a whole pie?
Right.
And I first I'm like, are you talking something, adult here?
No, they just...
and you were straight up talking about a whole pie.
Yeah, just eating a whole pie. There's... Because, in Venice, I'm like, this is awesome, like, so I'm sitting there, I'm painting and stuff, and, I'm finding that, the amount of things that people throw away and the amount of things that people leave on the beach, like rich people leave on the beach, people on vacation leave on the beach, is astronomical. So I'm sitting there literally in a pair of Gucci flip-flops with a Balenciaga shirt on, and my buddy's got like...
That's so fancy I don't even know
my
what
buddy's got like
is.
My buddy's got like fucking $900 fucking designer Prada shoes or something, which he's spray painting bright pink. And there's no way you could ever do that.
Oh my gosh.
There's no way I could ever do that as an artist, like just destroy things of this magnitude, this money. Like, it's just there. And then, like, people are, so they contribute to this. You know, they want this. But then when the sun goes down, they don't want any homeless or people to be there. So there's this weird thing. They want you to be there during the day. Like, you're part of the whole scene. They call it local color.
Local color, huh?
Yeah. They want you to be there, and then when the sun goes down, they want you to not be there. So there's this. They want you to be there, and they want you to make art, make music.
Yin and yang thing here.
But they don't want you to shit or sleep there. No, that's not.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you, Jonah. Sean said, whole pies reminds me of American Pie.
That I didn't try, and now I want to go back.
Oh my God! Yeah, well, see, when you said you ever have a whole pie, and I'm like, you know, I didn't know you literally meant just plain old. Have you ever eaten a whole damn pie?
Well,
but that's what you had. People were giving this shit
right,
out.
Yeah. So you're, you know, it's like, you know, you have endless. Like for me,
Jonah says stay away from his apple pie.
For me. For me, putting the holes in the donuts. But for me, like, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm meeting all these people, and I'm meeting all these, you know, people that are just like eccentric and artists and stuff, and I'm just like really into it. And, you know, like, and so we have endless. We're just creating art, but we can't keep any of it because nobody can keep shit. You can't keep shit when you're out there, man.
Yeah.
You turn your head and it's gone, so you can't have any attachments to anything. So we're just creating mad art, and we're just putting it out there. And sometimes people are buying it, sometimes they're taking it, sometimes the city's coming through and stuff. But it's like you wake up in the morning, and like for me, it's like you have all these art supplies. You're on the beach making art, watching beautiful women, and then people are just coming and putting. For some reason in Venice, there must be an abundance of pastries or something, because they would just put whole pies, whole cakes out and stuff. So it's like, boom, whole cherry pie, and it's fresh. And you're like, well. You know?
Yeah. And you said wake up in the morning but where were you sleeping?
Well, I would... Initially I started sleeping right on the beach because of the novelty of it. I'm from Ohio, and I'm like, man, I'm going to sleep right in the ocean front. You know, I'm waking up with...
On the sand?
On the sand. Well, I had a tent, and, you know?
Okay.
So I would set up a tent, and...
Sean says he likes to watch beautiful women.
I would set up a tent, and you know, they wake up, and it's like I'm watching dolphins and sea lions, and you know, I'm
nice.
I'm very romantic about the whole thing, and I'm like, well, you know, I'm gonna start looking for a job maybe on Monday, and then, you know, you just don't, because eventually what happens is your tent gets stolen. Or your gear gets stolen.
Damn.
Yeah, and then you're like, and then you re-up or whatever. So like I'm saying, you don't. But once you start like getting to a point where it's like, where you just, I would sleep on the sand because most of the cops are too lazy to walk across the sand to investigate anything, and most of the homeless people, it's a chore to walk across sand. It's actually
sand, safe spot, base.
Yeah, it's a base, and plus it was pretty. But the thing is, like, as you're, especially if you just sleep on the ocean in a sleeping bag, because you can, it very rarely rains or anything. But as you're sleeping there, like, the mist from the ocean will just get you more and more wet. So you wake up around 10 in the morning, 9, 10 or whatever, whenever the sun's coming up, and you're wet. And then as the sun comes up, you get less wet, and then all of a sudden you dry out because it gets hot so quick. And then by then, you know, it's 11 or 12 o'clock. Now the beach is filling up with people playing volleyball, girls in bikinis. Now your dudes have, you know, hey man, you want to smoke a joint? Here, so you're spray painting things, and, you know, because they have a strip of grass that goes down Venice, and this is like where all the artists and musicians and stuff are hanging out. We're on the strip or whatever as you get into LA. But so they're walking up and down. They're on vacation, and they want you there. They want you there making art, making music, or whatever. That's Venice is built on that. And so then, then it gets around 4 or 5 o'clock. The sun goes down, and now it's, it drops down 30 degrees. So it goes from like 85 to like 50. And you wouldn't think 50 is cold coming from Ohio. I'm like, man, I'm going to be fine. I can be shirtless in 50 degrees. Not true, man. These changing temperatures mess you up. It'll just...
Well, and I imagine,
freezing every night.
Your ass didn't have a cot.
No, well, I had you'd be surprised all the different things I had along the way, man. I had like 4 or 5 different bicycles. I bought one initially, and I had cruiser bikes, I had skateboards, rollerblades.
Sounds like a series of recycling.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd have your stuff, it'd get ripped off.
It'd get ripped off, lost, or dirty.
And then you would find
new stuff.
Yeah. Okay, you say it would get dirty, meaning
like
it was time to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's time to take this shirt and throw it the fuck away, because you ain't going to the laundromat. You're not gonna. What are you gonna wash it in the ocean? And you're tired of it. You know how you get tired of wearing this shirt for a while. Like, I love this shirt. Right. And then you're like, man, let me just throw it in the washing machine, and you put it in a closet. Now you might wear it later, but But there's so many people on vacation from everywhere, and there's so much rich people, and they already know there's so many homeless people that there's literally people that would just leave things too. And people go on vacation and they'll be like, oh, let's buy an umbrella, let's buy a blanket and hoodies and stuff, and people just leave stuff. So it's like, man, it's time to re-up on a hoodie.
And you just find another hoodie.
Find a brand new fucking hoodie that's like polo and it's bright white, and you rock that for a couple days, and then it starts to get grimy, and you just throw that away. Like, so you're constantly recycling.
And along with we're talking about the filth, all right, and you talked about drugs earlier, which. We talked about this before. One of my concerns would be hypodermic needles laying around.
That should be a big concern, man. And they really...
I mean, were there needles laying around?
Absolutely.
And these are popular beaches. This is a popular beach, right?
Absolutely, yeah, man.
And there's needles laying around.
There's needles all over the place in California. California beaches are ashtrays. And I see people coming in from Europe and stuff, You can tell the Europeans because they're wearing, like, Speedos and shit like that.
Yeah, people don't wear that shit for
swimming around here. And stuff but their kids are playing in the sand and stuff. And there's junkies don't even bother to, even bend the needle or put it in a bottle. And there's not a lot of really receptacles, even in this day and age, for them to throw the shit away. So they're...
Oh my gosh.
The chances of
so you could be playing volleyball and then you got AIDS-infested needles shoved into your heel.
Absolutely, especially in the parks and stuff. Along the railroad tracks in Santa Cruz, man, there was just you could Google Santa Cruz homeless problem, man, and you're gonna see images of stacks of needles, stacks. And I found needles that were rigged up, they're rigged up and ready to go. They got a full thing of dope in them now. Like, what if what if a baby finds that stuff? Whatever.
Oh gosh.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a huge problem, but they need to have. I mean,
are there needle dump grounds or something?
There's clean needle recycle places, and there's places where they can shoot and stuff. And have Narcan and stuff like that. And that's what is going to have to happen here in Ohio. But Ohio is kind of like. We don't want to do that because it says we accept or we
right. But here's the problem. Here's what's screwed up. And I've read this. These are real numbers, guys. This isn't bullshit. A few years ago.
What's up, Mike Tolley?
Few years ago, Ohio had more overdoses from heroin than the whole state of California. And California's big.
Right, that's because California is ahead of us a little. California's ahead of us, but they're not to Ireland ahead of us.
We have known, us people living in Ohio have known we've had a heroin problem for years. But they only just started talking about it in the news a few years ago. But I can tell you right now, after how many classmates are dead,
right,
that I went to school with, we've known we've had a heroin problem for ages, but officials were not admitting this until it was undeniable, till where you have cars crashing everywhere because the driver is out.
Well, I knew a girl from Ireland. Ireland went through it like they were like 10 years ahead of us on the heroin thing. And what happens is you have a heroin problem, then you have the death problem because everybody comes in, they start trying to find cheaper ways to make heroin, taking over each other's businesses, the fentanyl issue because it's cheaper than heroin, and water it down, people die. But what's really going to happen is in about 5 years or so, 10 years, we're going to have an STD problem. We're going to have an AIDS problem.
From all these needles?
From all this stuff. Yeah, because there's, you can't make it, you can't have it illegal to buy clean needles. It's not working.
Yeah.
You should be able to...
You got to give somewhere or else...
But the whole mentality, especially it seems like up in the Midwest, it seems like, well, if we give them clean needles, we're saying it's okay. We're not saying it's okay. We're just, we need to be progressive enough to say, like, let's do this so this doesn't happen. But I'm afraid Ohio's going to have to see it for the worst. I mean, it just
we've already experienced the death.
We're always last.
Let's see, Jonah says, my mom works for the state of Ohio and takes care of people who are known drug addicts, criminals, etc. She's seen a whole lot of shit. God only knows what she faces on a day-to-day basis at the state hospital.
There's another issue. You have, and it's just American culture, man. Other cultures, you have somebody that's 50, we call them 5150 out in Cali, and
what does that mean? I heard you use that.
That's just nuts. Like, I mean, they're just, I love them like Jesus loves them, but they don't have any focus, man. There's no focus to them. They're screaming at demons. 9 out of 10 times they're harmless. But these people are out on the streets, they're hungry, they're homeless, and then they're shooting up meth and heroin on top. Yeah, and it's a mess. It's
self-medicating with entirely the wrong medication.
Absolutely the wrong.
So, I mean, you got what, my sister works mental health and, on a psych floor, and says that a lot of these people are schizophrenics. Okay, that you hear screaming and that shit. But then you probably got people who weren't like that when they started out homeless and ended up like that.
Right. Well, I mean, anybody will become psychotic when you haven't ate or slept in 2 or 3 days, and you're just up doing speed, and you see normal people go nuts. So, I mean, if you're already nuts, and the police tend to not care about the people that are screaming at demons. I got tickets for...
Yeah, let's talk about tickets. You got tickets.
I got... Everywhere I went, I got a dumb ticket. I started in San Diego. I got a ticket for riding the train without a pass. Then I got a ticket for smoking a cigarette on the boardwalk in Venice. I got a ticket for sleeping on cardboard. Now, that's a charge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, you can't tell me if I win the lottery I can't sleep on a piece of cardboard. Get the fuck out of here. These are stereotypical charges that they use to target. Because California's whole mentality is, we're going to ticket the fuck out of you while you're in our area, because by the time it comes for your court case, now we have a warrant, now we have a way to get you the hell up out of town.
They got a whole stack on you to just turn you into a total lowlife.
Right, so your tickets start building up, and like I got tickets for breathing on a Wednesday, like crazy stuff. Like I got a ticket that says sitting on a curb in Santa Barbara because I wasn't sitting on a bench. If they notice that you look like you're not on vacation, or you look like you don't have money like other people, they're gonna give you a ticket. And especially someone like me, because I'm like, I'm clean.
Yeah.
At least my nails are clean, and I'm easygoing, so like they know I'm not gonna be a problem in the police car. I'm not gonna be a problem at the station. I'm most likely gonna pay my ticket.
What's up, Nick?
it would blow my mind because I'd be like, man, here's a dude with a needle hanging out his arm screaming at demons.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a ticket for smoking a cigarette.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I remember when my sister first moved to San Diego, and this is, 20 years ago or whatever, or more. And she got busted throwing a cigarette out the window of her car. And the cop made her drive back, I don't know how many blocks, and go find the cigarette butt, right? No shit. And she had to get out of her car and go get the cigarette and all that. Who knows if it was the same cigarette butt. But, they were that uptight about San Diego being clean.
Right, and San Diego is clean and it is nice. It was one of the nicer areas, man. I really liked the San Diego beaches.
Did you see, isn't there a beach called Ocean Beach out there?
There's Ocean Beach.
Okay, I went there and I was on some giant waves over there.
Yeah, there's giant waves. There's Sunset Cliffs, which is beautiful. And in that area, you can have your own private beach. You can literally, you can walk out to Sunset Cliffs, and it's all these different cliffs, and the water comes in, and there's parts where it's just like you look down, it's a cliff, and then here's a beach where the water comes in, and you go down there, and that's your beach. Like there's
nobody's gonna be hassling you.
No one's hassling you there.
I was there. I'm I think 20 or so, and but my sister was living out by SDSU, which was far from the beach. San Diego State University was far from the beach, but, I was a young man, and I'm, like, hearing stuff about topless beaches, so I'm like, But it was the wrong time of the year for that. My Ohio ass is swimming out there in the water, and everybody else is wearing cardigans and stuff.
I went to a Black's Beach.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Black's Beach.
It's beautiful. It's like 4-story cliffs, and it's enclosed.
Oh, your mom's on.
And,
what's up, Rosemary?
Hey, Mom. You can go there and, but it's not what you think. It's old dudes and it's gay people.
Is it? So it's not a bunch of.
Against
but that's not what you were looking for. You were looking for young, hot women and.
Well, I mean,
Well, you were hoping.
Yeah, I was just out of curiosity, man.
Right. Sean's asking, did you ever fall off a surfboard?
I didn't even try surfing, man. I didn't even try. Didn't even try.
No. Speaking of like surfing, okay, and I only had a little slice of California, okay, but where you were at on Venice Beach, were there the showers for washing off the salt water
there
and
is
stuff?
Showers.
So you got to have a shower, but it probably was not warm.
No, it's cold, and especially
what do you do about keeping clean, or you just don't?
A lot, well, I mean, you can get in the water. You can get in the water, but the water's cold. So.
No, I never fell off a surfboard.
A lot of sink baths and whatnot. A lot of French. My mom would call it a French whore bath. So there's a lot of that.
What, like a bird bath?
Yeah, Yeah, you're gonna hit,
out of a sink.
You're gonna hit the 3 main points of contact and keep it moving.
No, I never fell off a surfboard. I guess you'd call it body surfing is what I did in California. I just tried to use my body. I'd stay stiff as a board and try and hop on the waves and ride them with my body, which I did. But I also got taken one time and just smashed right down in the water. I mean, from like a 12-foot wave.
Yeah, and there's so much stuff in the water.
The water the ocean said, "You aren't shit." It grabbed me and said, "You ain't shit out here." Because I was used to little lakes and stuff at the biggest Lake Erie, and I found out the ocean. Yeah, I found out the ocean is not a joke. But I'm gonna check off a couple of things, which we can always come back to them.
Right.
What about this one, Scott?
Theft for...
Do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Theft as a necessity, and these are...
Theft as a necessity. Don't steal off your brothers, man. That's my rule. Don't steal off other people. Don't steal off people.
Yeah.
If you must steal, if you're so hungry that you got to eat...
Disclaimer.
Even the Bible says, go ahead and eat.
Yeah.
So, you get to a certain point of hunger where you go on autopilot, you know.
I read the book, and I'll throw this out here for you to grab onto and kind of fly with it if you want. And a man was talking about the right of self-preservation. Does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds
kind
about
of
right.
what you're.
You know, so I'm not against it. I'm not.
Oh my God! I can't believe we're talking about it. I hate thievery.
I'm not against it. I don't steal from people. Don't steal from houses. Don't steal from your brothers. You know, don't steal from your people. Don't steal from anyone. Now Walmart, they're gonna write that shit off. So fuck them. You know, if you're hungry, go up in Walmart, man.
Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Oh, the Bible allows it, man. It's somewhere in the Bible.
I'll be right back. Do you want some coffee, dude?
Sure, man. You know, so if you're gonna eat, if you get, and you can say, oh, I never do that, but you don't know what you'll do when you get real hungry, when you're real stressed, you know. So that being said, you know, I'm not against, you know, big business, BP, Walmart, you know, they're gonna write that stuff off anyway, and I would never recommend doing it for one. You know, don't jeopardize your freedom for anything. But if you're starving and you need to eat, I would rather even like, you know, I would even tell anyone, like, if you're hungry and you need to eat, don't go up and steal from a mom and pop store. Don't steal from your brother. Don't steal from a person or whatever. Go in a big grocery store chain. And don't steal excessively. Don't take more than you need. Take what you need to eat, man, and eat. And if people, I wouldn't do that. But
yeah,
you don't know what you may are capable of until you're there.
And I think what we're talking about, remember, disclaimer.
I'm not glamorizing nothing, man. I'm just keeping it.
This is where I drop another disclaimer. This is for entertainment purposes only. Scott, we're gonna have somebody saying, I turned into a career criminal, and it's your fault, Scott.
Yeah, well,
but
if so,
you ended up in a spot where, you know, theft as a necessity ended up. Disclaimer. See, there we go. You guys all know what's right and wrong, but
what about you, Paul? Oh yeah, we were.
What about me? Oh, okay.
You ever steal anything out of necessity?
No, I haven't. I got caught stealing those comic books.
That's not necessary.
When I was 12, and I got busted for it, and that was the end of my.
That's more.
That was the end of my life of crime, right there. I would say that's more of
a want than a need.
Oh, definitely. No, I never did.
I'm talking about stealing out of hunger.
I've lucked out and not had to. I've lucked out and not been in that position, but your ass is homeless. And when you came home.
I didn't have to be though.
When you came home, though, you were so gaunt.
I have really good family and I have really good friends.
It was a choice,
even out
to put yourself in that spot. Yeah, you stayed with a relative.
Absolutely, but I mean, also, could I have ever seen the beaches in Malibu for 4 or 5 days at a time? Could I ever afford to do that? Maybe, but
maybe if you'd have stacked up your rubles, and let's face it, you didn't.
Right. So I mean, for someone, you know, if you're coming from middle class Ohio and you go out to California and stuff, you know, who has $200-300 a night to sleep in a room? Maybe, but if you really want to see things and stuff, and you're willing to be a little uncomfortable, man, there's a lot to be said for a backpack and a tent. You know.
Yeah. Well, and okay. You got into LA, and then where'd you go from there? Let's do kind of a chronological thing. Do you recall what
LA,
order or whatever?
LA, I went straight. LA to Venice Beach for a while. I stayed in Venice Beach and, you know, checked out the beaches from Venice up to Santa Monica. And LA has an amazing public transport network. So you can get on a train in Santa Monica, and you can be in Long Beach in 20 minutes. Or you can be in downtown LA in 20 minutes. So you can spend the day in downtown LA, get on that train, and then spend the night in Long Beach, and then take the train back and be in Santa Monica that night. So you can be.
See, I've heard a saying that everywhere from everywhere in LA is 20 minutes. So that's true.
It is true, absolutely.
And it's a huge town, though. It's a huge city, but still.
And it's like...
I mean, it's the size of some counties in other states.
It's giant, and man, it's like I think that's why, you know, like it kind of lends to people being a little bit scared, because you could go into LA, you know, and just, you know, do any kind of dirt or whatever and be ghost.
Wow.
That day. So, you know, like me...
Well, I guess...
I'm not recommending this to anybody, but you could, and like that's what makes it really scary for people. Like the transients can just like...
Yeah, well...
You know...
I guess their freeway system's good, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why they are one of the bank robbing... They're the bank robbing capital. Yeah, because anywhere you're at, you can get the hell out of there fast.
Yeah, so I started Skid Row, LA, and then I went to Venice Beach.
Okay.
And I stayed in Venice Beach for, you know, a month or two, and then I decided to go ahead down to San Diego. It was time to, you know, let's get in a veteran's place. Let's start working towards getting a job, XYZ. And I stayed with my cousin in San Diego, and God bless him, it was awesome. And he's an awesome person. He has a restaurant. He's fucking amazing person. I got to meet my cousin. And
you never met him?
No, I had never met him. He was one of my cousin Bill's sons that I had never met, and he's really proud to be, you know, part of the family and stuff, which was really crazy because his pride to be, like, you know, part of the Harwig family is, like, unmatched, and, like, he literally was, you know, like, not a part, which was sad or whatever, but
yeah.
I got to meet him and everything, and then no harm, no foul on his part. It was beautiful. I had every opportunity in the world, but also... To go through the program in San Diego, you know, I'm in a veterans program and stuff. Now I got to be in at 8 o'clock every night, and I got to sleep in a tent with like 200 other PTSD veterans and stuff. So, you know, I'm on the beach and I'm looking for a job and stuff, and also so many people want to be there. It's like, you start out, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go right back into tattooing. I'm an okay tattoo artist. I'm gonna get into. I've been doing it long enough. I got a good portfolio. No problem. No, you find out that for a dishwasher job, you got to have a resume.
Oh.
So it's like there's stiff competition for jobs that are like not even livable jobs. So
I was gonna say, because the cost of living is so high,
and then also, you know, it was also brand new to me. That's like, do I want to come in at 8 o'clock every night? Sure, I want to, but after a week or so, like, you know, no, I don't. And then they're like, oh, you can't stay here anymore, and you're like, you know. So, and then also, I hadn't seen anything, you know. I hadn't. There was too much to see.
You were
too much to do.
Restless spirit.
I was restless, you know.
Wow.
And I don't blame anybody for that, man. If you get a chance to get out there and do it, do it.
So you, L.A., Venice Beach, San Diego,
after Venice Beach, San Diego.
Then you go north again.
I walked north at that point.
Walked north.
Yeah, because
How did the walking work out?
See, I'll do it like this. Here's the state of California. You know, Venice Beach is going to be
drawing
about where the star is, right? Now I'm gonna walk.
We'll show you the drawing.
I'm gonna walk from Venice to Santa Barbara. So here's Venice. Here's Santa Barbara. I'll just put SB. So it's like this, you know.
Only backwards, of course.
You know, it's that.
Yeah.
Now, on the map, it looks like not bad.
Yeah.
And also, I'm thinking, like, oh, this is going to be beautiful. I'm going to walk right up the coastline, all through Malibu, all this stuff, you know.
Right.
And you start walking up the coastline, and you figure out that what you're looking at that looks like it's right there is actually 10 miles.
Oh, gosh.
And then you start seeing signs like the next restaurant or anything that may have water is 30 miles.
And we're talking, okay, for people from Ohio, Midwest, Eastern United States that maybe haven't been there, we're talking, technically speaking, Southern California is a desert climate, correct?
It is, and it gets cold at night. And it's hot during the day. So, and there's...
Jonas said, thank you for your service, Scott. It's greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Scott was in the Army.
I was.
So now you found yourself marching your ass up northward.
I did. I found myself on a field march, and but also I saw things that I'd never see again. I'm walking through the Pacific Arch, where it's like there's arch
Is that a bridge or something?
It's an arch that comes out over the water, and it has the rocks, like the big 3 rocks, like the Goonies and stuff.
Oh, like Goonies, yeah.
And then also they've shot, because Hollywood's right in close proximity, they've shot so many Star Trek scenes and stuff. So there's like signs, Star Trek number 648 was filmed right here.
Oh,
and there's all these alien-looking rocks and stuff.
Oh,
and then
I'm thinking about where Kirk fought that lizard guy.
Right, so I'm seeing all this bizarre landscape and these beautiful beaches. And all through Malibu and stuff, there's nobody on those beaches. These are like multi-million-dollar houses, and there's nobody on these beaches, and they're just pristine and beautiful. So I saw so much stuff that I'll never see again, and I woke up and fell asleep to beautiful sunrises, sunsets, and everything else. But there's not any type of I would say if anybody wants to do it, you better pack some protein bars, you better have some water purification type stuff, because around day 2 or 3 I had made it as far as Oxnard, which is about from like here to Cleveland from Santa Barbara.
Oh my gosh.
And on the map it's like this, it's nothing. And then I'm exhausted at this point. So now I've taken, and I'm not walking on.
Dude, you made miles. Lots of miles.
Yeah, it took me about 3 days, or I don't know, 3 or 4 days. But I'm getting to a point where like hunger and water is becoming a real issue. And so now I'm like, I've moved myself inland, and now I'm ready to.
You following a road?
Yeah, now I'm like towards Highway 1, and I'm ready to start trying to hitch a ride, or I'm to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna ask for some type of help, and I see this guy stretching on the side of the road. I'm like, do you have some water? Do you have some water? And he's like, and he's foreign. He's like from Russia, and he's like, yeah, here's some Gatorade, blah blah, and he's happy to meet me. I'm a novelty item to him.
So you meet a Russian guy.
I met a Russian boxer who was training in the hills.
Russian boxer.
He was going to ESPN to fight. I wish I would have got his name and stuff. He was going to ESPN to fight. And he was from Russia, and he gave me a ride from Oxnard to Santa Barbara, which put me in Santa Barbara at that point.
So that gained you another how many miles, guessing?
Man, a couple hundred or so.
Oh gosh, that's a lot of walking that you just avoided.
It would have took it was like from here to, it was.
That could have been your life right there.
It could have. I mean, I suppose. I'm sure there's people that, and I thought too, like, man, back in the Wild Wild West, people were like, what they went through and stuff out there, like, this is modern times. Like back in Wild Wild West, when they're first exploring this shit, there's no lights, and there's Indians in them hills and everything. Like it was truly the Wild West,
Yeah, I'll bet people were dropping like flies back in those days.
They had to be. So that puts me in Santa Barbara, and Santa Barbara is beautiful, man. Santa Barbara is just
very upscale, yeah.
It's super clean, it's super upscale. Everything's like this. It's real clean. There's just sailboats, and the town is beautiful. Oprah Winfrey lives there. There's a lot of money in Santa Barbara. So, Santa Barbara.
Was there a place for you in Santa Barbara?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there would have been a place for me anywhere, but, like, restless. Just, like, let's explore. What's next? So, Santa Barbara, then I wouldn't have been able to make it really without the hope of and love and support of my mom, my dad, because my mom would be so worried. She'd send me some cash, Western Union, and I'd be able to eat, and that would keep me going, like that little bit of hope.
So you were getting a little bit of help.
A little bit of help here and there, yeah, and even if it wasn't, it's just like just the ability, like I knew. All else fails, I can go to the library, or I can get online, and I can get a hold of mom or dad.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. How did you communicate through library?
Yeah, usually like a Facebook type communication or whatever, and so then I would, and then even if there was no money spent or whatever, just to have that person on the other end. Now, if somebody's just out there and they have no one, man, I've seen it. you see people just go really down really quick, because if you're down, you're going to stay down. But so Santa Barbara for a month or two, and then I ended up taking a bus from Santa Barbara to Santa Cruz. Coming up as a skateboarder, I want to see Santa Cruz.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it was everything. I mean, it was everything and more. Like the skateboarding in Santa Cruz, I saw professional skaters and people doing all kinds of amazing things. And Santa Cruz is lovely, but Santa Cruz, there's something going on in Santa Cruz, man. There's something otherworldly in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
The Lost Boys movie film there and stuff.
Then you saw something.
I did.
Something you cannot explain.
I did. I saw something white cross the road, and it was it had the knees on, the knees that are on the backwards, almost like
backwards.
Yeah. A white, almost translucent being, and it crossed the road in like 3 or 4 things. And I know what y'all are thinking. This cat's taking a lot, or maybe he's initially, right away, my mom's like, "Oh, you're hallucinating or whatever." Now, I don't know, man. I don't know.
But was it humanoid shaped?
No,
no,
definitely not. It was smaller than a deer. It was closer to the ground. And it crossed the road in 3 or 4 bounds, and it was almost see-through. It was almost like a hologram or whatever. And I watched it run down through this thing and then just gone. And I was like. And it looked every bit like those things you see on the internet where it's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah,
Them things? Yeah, one of those. And I know all y'all out there, Scott's taking too much, man. Y'all go fuck yourselves. You can eat it on that, because I know the difference between a hallucination and something real. I know. Now, maybe I did or whatever, but I'm not going to, write a book on it or anything, but there's a strange air in Santa Cruz, and I'm not the only one that feels this. There's a reason why the Lost Boys movie was filmed there.
I mean...
And the Indians used to fight over Santa Cruz because Santa Barbara's flat. It's like this. You get up to Santa Cruz, the way everything goes and the way the wind comes in, it's a vortex. It goes in a circle. You can start walking in Santa Cruz, and then you end up in the same place. You just it's just vortex like this. The Indians used to fight over it there because they believe there's such power there, and there's something.
And you're saying there's something tangible.
There's
something.
You can feel it, man. You can feel something in Santa Cruz, and then there's the Lost Boys Bridge where they filmed the Lost Boys.
Oh, somebody asked if you've seen any sharks.
Oh, I saw all kinds of sharks. There's sharks, mad sharks. There's sea lions and sharks in the water.
I heard sea lions.
Michelle, love you forever, homegirl.
Yeah, what's up, Michelle? Jonah's happy that we're talking about more paranormal stuff.
Yeah. Okay. There's the Lost Boys Bridge there, and it's this broke down bridge, and then there's also there's the carnival there. So.
There's a carnival
established there? Yeah, there's a carnival with a roller coaster and stuff, so there's all that kind of...
A permanent...
Oh, yeah, right on Santa Cruz Beach.
Amusement thing.
Yeah, but it's just some... And then there's a quirky weirdness with carnivals and stuff.
Oh, yeah, there is. There's always been something creepy about a carnival.
Something creepy, carnival-y about it, but then also right beside that, it's the Lost Boys Bridge, where it's like, you can walk over it, and it's the same bridge from the movie.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a walkway, and then you can walk on it where you can step over things, and you can look way down, and it's like, one of us.
Didn't you say there were gaps in the bridge?
Yeah, there's gaps where, like, you step over, and it's almost like it's a good amount to step over, but then there's a long way down, and I guess the locals used to jump off of it back in the day, but there's more going on in Santa Cruz than anybody really knows, man. There needs to, and then there's also in Santa Cruz, up in the woods and off the railroad tracks and stuff, there's all these burrows and stuff where it's just encampments of people that just live there.
Oh, wow.
And I call them like the real Lost Boys of Santa Cruz, because they really are the true Lost Boys of Santa Cruz.
Yeah. Are these tend to be younger people?
Yeah, a lot of younger people, travelers like me. They start out in California, they start heading up north, and they get to Santa Cruz, and they start doing the Santa Cruz Circle.
Wow. It's like a Bermuda Triangle on land.
Yeah, it's like this thing, and they just get trapped. They get trapped in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz actually has a program where they will ship you out of Santa Cruz to anywhere you want to go if somebody else answers on the other side.
Just to get your ass out of there.
Just to get you up out of there, yeah, because people get there and they just get trapped.
Wow.
You know, like I would just walk around Santa Cruz, and it's fun. It's not like it's not
Is
fun.
it pretty?
It's beautiful, and you can skate anywhere. Like I hadn't skated in years, but you see 65-year-old men, 5-year-old, you know, little girls just skating down the street because it's all smooth.
Oh, wow.
It's not all crap
Nice.
from like, you know, the weather and stuff in Ohio where you can't. Like you
Right.
you get on a skateboard and push a couple times in Cali and you're just rolling.
Yeah.
So everybody's mobile in some way.
Yeah, you can have a road looking beautiful here, and
Yeah.
then after winter, it can be shot. If it wasn't
Shot.
done right, it's gone. To lose your car in a damn pothole.
Yeah.
Here's something I was wondering about okay, you're doing all this trekking, and maybe you already answered the question a little bit for me about being able to communicate with mom or with dad from the library.
Huge
It's
help.
sort of an umbilical.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
what about loneliness?
Yeah.
Any problems with that?
I found I
'Cause, you know,
preferred to be alone.
Really?
Yeah, I prefer to travel with road dogs and stuff, but you start to I for once in my life I enjoyed my own company. You
Really?
know, like
You enjoyed yourself as a person.
I
you
did,
think you
and I did. I started like,
think you
Well,
got to know yourself better?
absolutely,
I
and
mean,
and plus too,
Because
you
at
know,
our age, that's something
every-
that people, you know,
right? And I like when I say I left in a shitstorm. It wasn't a shitstorm of my own accord. You know, a lot of things happened with my son, and like along the way, like, and you know, that guy went to jail. Finally, this motherfucker
which
went.
people are
went to
probably
prison or whatever,
wondering what the hell you're talking
Well,
about. And
we're
you
not
don't want to
gonna
go all into
yeah,
that.
We're not gonna go into
Something
that
bad happened.
Right.
Some
So-
bad stuff happened
And
emotionally with you.
Michelle knows the
Yeah.
war I've been, you know, to this day.
But there was a
fighting
bad
this
event
fucking shit.
that made
But yeah,
you want to
so-
get the hell out of Dodge.
You start
period.
to prefer your own company. It's because it's like, especially when you're traveling that much, the locals don't want to welcome you in, and the people that are traveling, they all have agendas on their face.
So the locals, it sounds like cats. They don't
Yeah.
want to
They don't
feed the cat,
they
and
don't
then
want a
it
new
comes
head.
around again.
They don't want a new head, and so I just got to a point where I was like, look, I won't steal from you, you don't steal from me, and then it's like, it's almost tribal, like, you start to form these little alliances, like, here's somebody, you bring this to the table, and this person brings this to the table, and now we have this little tribe, and we don't steal from each other. You don't even
Right.
have to like each other, but we all contribute to
Yeah,
this.
like somebody gets
to
food, somebody's
Right, yeah,
scrounging for
Right,
shit you need, blankets
yeah,
or
right,
whatever.
Yeah, somebody has a tent or whatever, so it becomes like this tribal thing, and you can see how societies were built almost actually, like, you know, everybody, here, this guy, he makes the saddles or whatever, you know, everybody contributes to and you start forming these little, almost like villages or whatever.
Wow.
Well, in Santa Cruz, there's like encampments of these types.
Do you have any idea if like some of these people in their encampments, if they like had been established there for a long time? Do you know if any of these people were, you know, I mean, they weren't just 2 months and then on the road. I mean, these people had been doing this shit for a long time.
Yep.
There was some of that too.
And each place, there's people that have traveled to that place, and then, you know, years passed.
Wow.
I have people I met in San Diego, everywhere up along the coast that are still there and probably will be there 2 or 3 years from now, because, you know, they didn't have the option of like, let's just pull the plug and go back to Ohio.
Yeah.
You know, like when things got bad, when I was like, man, you know, I'm done. I was fortunate enough to have a loving mother and, you know, a loving father, friends here like you and stuff
who worried to death about you.
And I was able to pull the plug. So what a blessing! But man, you know, not everyone has that.
Yeah, from my end, it was like, okay, I'd hear from you, and it'd be like, okay, Scott's alive.
Right.
That's good. You know, wait, hold up. It seems like he's actually enjoying whatever the hell he's doing right now. Well, that's great.
Fun.
That's great, but how long is it going to be till I hear from him again? And then, you know, your mom's, you know, Rosemary mom ends up calling me, trying to see if I talk to you, and I'm like, no. And I'm like, if I hear from him, I'm going to let you know, and ditto, because it's like, I'm worried too. I mean, hell, we've known each other since we were like 4.
Right, but I mean,
so,
it was just when I left Ohio, it was 4 degrees outside. My tattoo shop in Cleveland had relocated to the one in Euclid. I went through a relationship breakup, and like a lot of things happened.
A lot of bad shit.
Yeah, but I mean, for the first time in my life, I wasn't drinking or using. I couldn't pin it back on myself. Like 99% of my problems in life, in hindsight, I can be like, well, duh. Dude, look at what you were doing. Look at how you acted. Look at how you treated that person or whatever. But for the first time in my life, things happened, and I wasn't. And I was just like, man, time to go. Because I didn't want to start over in Cleveland or Massillon or whatever. I didn't. And I had never been out there, and it was a time in my life where it's like, I'm not able. There's nothing productive for me to do or whatever other than just boil. So, and I didn't feel like I was hurting anyone too badly or whatever, other than worry or whatever. So, let's go out and see California. And my thought pattern is, I'll go out there. Well, you can't afford to live out there or whatever. Well, you know what? There's more money to be made out there.
What's up, Bobby
I
Jane?
just didn't choose to do it along, those routes.
Yeah.
I kept moving. Rolling Stone's gonna gather no moss for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, it sounded like you were looking for. You had a catalyst.
It was some adventure.
And you did not want stagnation, I guess. And that did not happen because your ass kept moving.
I kept it rolling.
So
for sure.
Okay, there was another thing, and this is kind of going back. You were in the Redwoods. Tell us about the Redwoods. I mean, I've never seen them.
Man,
are the trees as big as they're supposed to be? Is it epic?
They're so epic. Hey,
that's a different phone.
I thought we had a caller on.
No.
That'd be cool if we had like a caller thing.
That would be cool. I wish I could do that.
You're like, hey. That'd be pretty neat.
And I'd be like, what's up? Sean's asking if you're going to go back out there.
No, I won't. I mean, I will for a visit or whatever, maybe. Because I know some places, that I can go. Like Santa Barbara, you can go, and there's one spot in Santa Barbara where you go up around the ridge, and there's a shipwreck, a boat there. And we actually padded the inside of this boat and put, like, my dude would leave bottles of wine and wine glasses in there and stuff and blankets and stuff. But when the water comes in, it surrounds it from both sides, so nobody can even get to you.
Oh, wow.
And that's like around the sun going down. So you could go out there with friends or whatever, and you can have a fire, and you have a shipwreck that you can actually sleep in.
Oh my God,
like,
this shit sounds like something out of a flick, dude.
Yeah, I'm like Tom Hanks or whatever?
Yeah.
Shit.
Robinson Crusoe.
Right, yeah. And like people kept taking the blankets, and we'd leave rolling papers and cigarettes. People kept taking it. We just kept putting new stuff in it.
Wow.
Restocking that thing, and we made it like our own little thing. Like, so there's a lot of beautiful things like that if you're on vacation or whatever, you would never even know.
Yeah.
Is there? So would I go back out there? Yeah, but I would go back out there like maybe with a friend or something, as a trip or whatever. Would I live out there? No, I'm not gonna live anywhere where my son's not. Period. I will hunt you down to the death of you, Jen and family. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't running from me. Period. That being said, let's not roll that way.
Yeah, we'll get,
seems like we're getting into more
Bobby Jane
here.
Bobby Jane said, is it nice out there? I think you answered that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It really is.
The Redwoods, back to the Redwoods, because...
The Redwoods, I started out in the Redwoods on Friday as a walk, like, let me just walk up in Santa Cruz Redwoods. You go north in Santa Cruz, not too far, and eventually it starts becoming, woods. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is so awesome because it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's epic, is what it is. Epic. But as you walk into the Redwoods, it starts getting darker. I'm like, I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna leave. Then I'll be back. At least by morning or whatever. Could not find my way out.
Oh jeez.
And the trees are so tall that it's like you're walking by these trees, and you walk maybe 5-10 miles or whatever, but what you really did was you walked in a circle. Now you're higher up on these trees, and where you were is like 4 stories down, and you just did one big circle, because I'm seeing the same 3 trees.
You did a circle, you're just at a higher elevation.
You're just at a higher elevation. Yeah. And then I'm trying to use Dead Reckoning, like trying to use the moon and the sun and stuff.
Yeah, so trying to use the shit from the army with any of that kind of...
Any of that type stuff. And then the first night, there's so many trees have been burnt and hit by lightning and stuff that they're like hollowed out, and it's burnt wood, and so there's burnt kindling and wood. It's just perfect to make a fire. It's just already ready to go. So I'm ripping up my sketchbook, and I'm making a fire the first night.
Gosh.
And then I'm paranoid that the police or the rangers are gonna, there's so many wildfires.
They're gonna bust you because of wildfires.
Oh man! So I put that out and I start walking, and now I'm approaching signs that says like prime mountain lion country and stuff, and I'm hearing things in the woods like moving and stuff, and I'm like, just, keep it moving.
You're hearing something alive in the woods.
I'm gonna. This is Friday night. I'm gonna bail out Saturday. Next thing I know, it's Saturday, and the sun's going down again, and I'm still there, and I'm still lost.
Wow.
So now I'm starting to panicky. And I kept it moving. Now Saturday night, something's following me through the woods. That's what I'm saying. There's something, and
there's mountain lions.
There's mountain lions, and there's it's also really big. It's a huge Bigfoot lore area. You have somebody ringing on your door?
No, it's a video game. Yeah, it sounds. There's a doorbell on the damn video game.
But as far as paranormal and stuff, I found out later, like that's a huge Bigfoot area. Like there's Bigfoot lore all through that area. But there's something following me in the woods that night, and it's like, then silence. Then I'm walking, and then silence.
Like you're being stalked.
Something's following me. It's stalking, and it's moving easily. It's like, done. Silence.
And you're by yourself.
And I'm by myself, and I'm walking. I'm sweating. I'm tired. Now I haven't ate or drank anything. And
so, do you have a stick or something? I mean, do you...
I had a walking stick,
So you're like kind of ready to maybe walk something with it?
I'm afraid to stop, because I'm afraid something's going to, and like if... And then I heard, snorts and stuff, which I found out later is wild boars snorting. So there's definitely wild boars, there's definitely mountain lions, there's definitely everything, but there's things in those. I don't know if it's I'm sure my imagination. People are going to want to roll with whatever, blah blah. You can go with that, but I'm telling you, there is something going on.
There's something that's weird,
otherworldly, man. That whole I'm sure when the director of the Lost Boys movie chose that stuff, there was a reasoning behind that, because there's something there's something going on paranormal in Santa Cruz, man, without a doubt.
Sean asked a couple questions. He said, first off, he asked, are you allowed to climb the redwood trees?
I don't know that you can, man.
I was going to say, how high up are the limbs? The lower limbs.
They're way up. And they're giant, you know what I mean? It's not like you could just... You'd probably have to have spikes or some type of climbing equipment and stuff. But these are...
Are there grizzlies out there?
Asking. There's bears everywhere in California.
So you're
it's on the state flag for sure. So maybe it was a
You're
bear.
a little ass. No offense. Not that it would matter if you were 7 foot tall and muscle bound. It wouldn't matter anyways.
Yeah, that's in the next
You get pieced up by a boar. A boar will kill you.
Right.
A puma will kill you.
Yeah.
A bear will kill you.
Yeah.
A possible Bigfoot.
Possibly any maybe like some type of alien activity or something. I don't know, but like there's and two. I mean, like you go down in the redwoods, who's gonna know?
They'll never find your ass.
You'll never be found, man. So and then I took a good spill and had multiple. I'm still peeling jaggers out of my booty.
Oh gosh.
So like now I smell like blood and I'm sweaty and I'm nervous and I'm walking, but I did find my way out Sunday morning and I went to church.
It doesn't sound like a bad idea.
I went straight to church. It was Sunday. Yeah. Well, I mean, they had free donuts and coffee.
That helped.
Yeah, but
question real quick.
But I was just generally really thankful.
This is not TBN or anything like that. But yeah, question though, faith-wise, do you believe in a creator?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Because
that's a whole different thing.
No, but I would think that would, if that is the case, then you might have said a prayer or two every now and then
for sure
on your journey.
For sure, yeah. I think you can pray constantly if you want. I don't think you have to go to church or go. You can just pray. I think you can pray while you're talking to somebody.
Yeah.
So let's move on to some fun stuff.
Yeah. So. We talked about the redwoods, which I really wanted to go over that one.
Beautiful. I wish maybe in hindsight, I wish I would have took some photos and stuff. But man.
Oh yeah,
I kept losing
question,
things
dude.
or getting things.
You had some track of days and stuff. Obviously, sun going up, sun down, and all that shit. But at various times you had a phone or you didn't have a phone?
I did, yeah.
You did have phones sometimes?
Yeah, I had phones,
okay.
I had bicycles,
right.
But I think, there's nowhere in the country really that has storage units for people that are, moving, traveling, homeless, or whatever. There's no free storage units provided. Now people are like, we're not going to condone that or whatever. But just for a health, as a safety thing for health or whatever, you could have a free storage unit. Like even in Cleveland, all these people were, look at what an eyesore that guy is, what that old woman is, with all her bag lady stuff.
Yeah.
You could have a storage unit and have it free for homeless people. Now you have a place where they can put their things, and you could actually, de-sanitize them and stock it and make it neat. It doesn't have to be a pack rat thing.
Yeah.
And if they don't come pick it up in a month or whatever, then you keep it. There's where your money is or whatever. But that doesn't exist. Also, hot water and showers don't exist. It's 2018, man. We need to get hot water and showers for people.
Yeah. And as far as Scott's journey, one of the last things I wanted to ask, you got bit by something.
I did. This was the final straw. I got bit by something in the middle of the night. Hit my leg, and it hurt. And then I woke up, and I felt like I was getting the flu. I had that body ache, and I was tired.
Yeah.
And I went back to sleep, and by the time I woke up, my whole right leg was paralyzed. And it was a fast-moving bite. It swelled my leg, my ankle, everything up. Whether it was I don't know, scorpion. They say there's no brown recluse in that area left or whatever. I don't know. But it took a gang of antibiotics to keep that stuff
out.
Yeah,
it looked like it was. I saw your ankle, and this was after it was much better looking, according to you.
Yeah.
And it looked like, man, that looks like that could be some necrotic shit had it not been treated. I mean, it looked nasty.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, it's not gonna get better.
And that's when you decided.
That's when I was
going
like,
back
man,
east.
I'm going back home, man. I've already had my little adventure. The biggest thorn in my side is in prison for 8 years now. Fuck them. And the whole time out there, I never went back to drinking or anything. I don't know if drinking's your thing. Fine, but it's not mine, and it doesn't work for me. And that was refreshing to know that I could
stay away from the bottle.
Yeah, I could be in a situation where I don't have anything, and I'm not going anywhere, and I'm not doing anything, and I'm on the beach, and yet still. So that's been a blessing.
I was gonna say, if you would have been tempted at any time, that would have been it, to be a rumhead or whatever.
Right. Well, the temptation was there, but I just and I did have a drink or two, and I was just like, it just seemed like such work. Like, you know what I mean?
Work?
Yeah, it's like it's work. It tastes horrible, and you gotta keep going. Now, that's why I'm not gonna put it in my own face. I'm not gonna go downtown after the Tigers win and try to hang out at a bar and drink Pepsi. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do myself in
that sounds like a stupid idea.
I mean? But I don't put I'm just like, if if you don't steal from each other and you don't become assholes or whatever. But when I drink, if I start drinking right now, I'll drink till I pass out.
Yeah.
You know, and then I black.
Yeah.
So whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But I'm not against anything, man. If you can successfully do cocaine and support yourself and not become an asshole, do that. It's just it doesn't work for me.
If you could trade the last 8 months, okay, and everything you went through, California, and switch them for your standard 8 months in Ohio, and not have done what you did, would you? Would you take it back? Well,
yeah, no, not at this point, no, because experience, it's something. I don't think I'd ever take anything back like that, but would I do it differently? Yeah, I would do it a little bit different. Like I wouldn't recommend going and doing that without a van. Or something.
Van would definitely be
like you're gonna want 4 walls around you. I don't care who you are. Like I don't care how romantic you are about a journey or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you still have to deal with the climate and the change, because when it gets cold outside and you're cold, you're gonna be cold.
Yeah.
So if I did it again, I'd be a man with a van at the very least.
Yeah. So you were in Cleveland for a while,
Cleveland.
One of the subjects you wrote down, and I'll admit, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about it, and that's why you're here anyways. White rappers. What is that about, dude? You wrote down white rappers.
Man,
yeah, I don't know anything about them.
You don't have to rap fast if you're white, man. Where is our Biggie Smalls? Where is our fucking Notorious B.I.G.? Where's our white guy with a flow?
I don't know.
Why does every white rapper have to rap fast? And we can just kill the subject right there.
Really? Is that what's going on with white rappers? They rap fast.
They rap fast. God damn it! Why do they all have to rap fast? You have to out rap your whiteness. What is it?
Let's see. Oh, Sean, sorry, dude. Late on the question. Was it a rat?
It could have been, man. It could have been a rat. It could have been a scorpion. The doctors are convinced that it wasn't a brown recluse because there's no brown recluse in the area. But
sorry, dude. Late on that one.
Something a little, some type of a toxin, venomous type thing or whatever. So.
Well, thank God.
Yep.
You got family.
Absolutely.
So, white rappers rap fast.
I don't get that.
Is that what you're saying? Because I don't listen to much rap. So I mean, I do listen. I listen to old shit, dude. I'm still like 30 years back.
Eminem.
Yes, I know Eminem.
Eminem just released a track where he is he is now beefed against Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, really? MGK. Okay, I've heard of MGK.
He threw out a diss tape against Machine Gun Kelly, and it's just now getting a little bit of press on the internet. But this is the first time that Eminem has come out and beefed against somebody that hasn't beefed against him first. So I think it's a credit to MGK's career. Like it means Eminem he's a threat. He must be some type of threat, right? And Eminem he's using things that he's using. Like if you read up on it a little bit, I just got into it a little bit today, and he's been listening to MGK. He's been studying and stuff. Yeah. And so if I was Machine Gun Kelly, I think his best response would be no response.
Like you ain't worth it.
Yeah, that would be super.
You mean like that would be ballsy badass?
That'd be super badass if he had no response. If he issued no apology, issued no response, no beef track back or whatever, and just let it be.
Didn't legitimize it.
That would be awesome. So it'll be interesting to see what he does.
Yeah, because I mean, rap is so macho and ballsiness,
and also
that would take some self control not to do that too.
But that's a rap thing too. Like the rap beef, man, that's been going on forever. And Tupac and Biggie, like that, it helps their careers.
Right.
It does.
Right. I mean,
I just think it'd be dope if he just said nothing, because it's like it's a credit to him that M was even concerned enough to go out there and say, because I don't know what the track's called, but he comes out and he says something about a machine gun, and he says, yeah, you Kelly, so it's a direct.
Yeah, it's a direct hit.
Yeah, it's a direct hit to him, and everyone's like, oh, M can do no wrong or whatever, but man.
So has Machine Gun Kelly? Yeah, I
He's
have
done
heard of
nothing.
him.
There's been no fireback.
I've heard of him because he was operating quite a bit out of Cleveland, right?
Yeah. He's a super Cleveland.
He's a Cleveland supporter.
He's a Cleveland supporter.
He's a skinny white dude.
Skinny white dude. Cleveland raps fast, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
You said fast white rappers.
Yeah, which my personal opinion is like, we get it. You're white. Do you have to rap fast? Do you have to overcome the whiteness? Maybe. I don't know, but it's getting a little bit old with me. Like any white rapper I can possibly think of, other than maybe like say like a Haystack or something. They just all have this really fast thing that they do or whatever.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Rat-a-tat-tat. Let's overcome this whiteness problem.
So what you're saying is it'd be nice to hear Honky with a little bit of soul.
It would be nice, yeah. Where is our white biggie?
Well,
God damn it. Sorry.
I don't know.
Censor.
You got pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling.
Another subject I don't know shit about, and you wrote that down.
Unapologetic wrestling fan. Unapologetic.
Yes. I mean this smacks and speaks volumes about your hillbilliness
Absolutely.
that has been covered up when talking about these progressive subjects, such as having places for homeless storage units and stuff. Now we are peeling back another layer of the Norwegian onion. Pro wrestling.
Love it. I've been watching it since it was in that studio in Georgia where it was like Ric Flair and stuff.
Sean Stout says me too.
Man, Sean, you already know, like when it was like Tommy Wildfire Rich, Ric Flair, and it was in that little studio where it's like 3 rows of chairs, and Road Warriors and all that stuff. That's awesome. Now, as far as pro wrestling goes, bring back the show, bring back because we all know now. We know it's not real. We get that. So quit having wrestlers with names like Tommy Schmidt and stuff, man. I want my wrestler to be from Iran and fighting a guy.
You want the costumes again.
I want the show back, man. I want that show back. Quit doing like it's a sport or whatever.
Right.
Go back to the this guy is from Mars type stuff, man. Bring back the show.
And the wrestling seems a lot different from what little I've watched. Seems to be a lot more gymnastic.
Yeah, it's a dance.
like Jimmy Snuka back in the days was, I don't want to say a novelty, I don't want to say a gimmick, but he was a big deal because of his high flying and shit. Mm-hmm. Now
and the blood.
That's all over now.
Abdullah the Butcher with the knives.
Yeah, but now the high flying and all that stuff is just a given.
Right, and it's like a dance. It's almost like a dance. So you see, like it's like 1, 2, and now I bend down. Now you hop over. Now it's gonna be this or whatever. It's men in tights and it's a dance, and like they've lost the showmanship of it. I want the entrances and the like the storyline or whatever.
In the plain old fashioned, I'm going to choke you and punch your stuff.
And also like these matches are so pre-programmed. It's like I liked it when it was like they're fighting and it just goes off the air, or like a match is going on for an hour and they're just like it's a battle. Whatever, bring that back, wrestling. We miss it.
Yeah, you were saying something about like the timing, or like there being time limits. And shit.
When I went and saw pro wrestling, it's to a point now where it's like, so these are they even have reality shows with these people and stuff, and it bastardizes the whole thing. Like, so this lady, she's like okay, we're gonna turn Charlotte into a heel now. You know that on the internet before it even happens. That's how the storyline's going.
Wow.
So it's like how
why would you want to watch it when you already know how it's going to turn out? It
makes it a tough sell, man. It makes it for me a tough sell because like I'm having problems like hating her because I know that's how the storyline's rolling and that's what she's trying to do. And then I know she's not really like that. They want that kind of heat or whatever. Back in the day, they would like Nikolai Volkov, when he was in public, he spoke Russian, he acted Russian, he dressed the part. Like they kept their character. They protected the business like that.
Yeah, I forget what word they've got. Some kind of the industry has some word that they
kayfabe.
Is that what it is?
There's a kayfabe.
Okay.
Kayfabe is when you're like
Stay in character?
Yeah, you stay in character, you kayfabe.
Yeah, and I guess back in the days, you did not break that.
And it was like this thing between the wrestlers, like this unspoken code, like they did, like they protected the business like that, you know? And it's not that anymore. Now it's like...
kind of sad.
They sell it so sideways, it's like... And we're I think it's a lot to do with Vince McMahon when he monopolized it, you know? He took over all these territories and stuff. To the point where WWE is the wrestling.
Yeah, McDonald's here.
And then also, they scaled down on the amount of wrestlers. There was at one point you could turn on wrestling and you'd be like, oh wow, cool, this guy. Now it's like
it did seem more realistic.
Now
back
there's like
in the days,
what?
Sean.
There's like maybe 10 or 12 people that are wrestlers and they just travel. And now you have like, okay, this guy, like, and they just put a mask on somebody. You know who it is. You know, it's just like. Man, like the whole thing to me, the whole illusion is gone or whatever. So bring that back, man. Bring back. I want my wrestlers to be.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I remember you have an army dude. You know.
Right.
And Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh man, when Hulk Hogan fought Iron Sheik, I was like, if he don't win, America loses. I was like 10 years old, but still, I was like,
oh my gosh!
And they were battling for the.
Oh gosh, and we were preached to about the Cold War.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, if he doesn't win, America lose. Like, this is major things here. Like,
I am a real American.
Like, we have to watch this.
Fight for the right.
Right.
I remember that.
That doesn't exist anymore. Now it's like Tommy Hendricks versus I don't know. It's just, I still love it. I'm still gonna watch it. I am. I'm an unapologetic wrestling fan to my death, but
yeah, it does seem. I don't know. It does seem.
I just want
wimpier.
The show. I want the show
Seems
back.
Wimpier.
Yeah, because it's like they're almost like they're trying to sell it almost like they're trying to keep the realness in that respect. But man, I want the show back, man. Man, bring back
the theater.
Bring back the theater, man.
Yeah, it used to be, when these guys got, when they both were in the same place with microphones, you worried about what the hell might happen. These guys might get into it right here with Mean Gene right in the middle.
Yeah.
Remember that? And it's like, why would they even have both these guys here at the same time? And didn't know what the hell was going to happen. And you had these rivalries where there'd be 3 or 4 heels or whatever that were like a posse. They didn't have a name, or sometimes they did. And you knew whatever happened, if you mess with this guy, then the other 2 were coming after you too.
Yeah. And they kept that too. Now it just seems like the storylines change too much now, and they expect you to believe things and stuff. And like, I don't know if it's the internet, the access to all the extra knowledge or whatever we got going, or what. WWE went through after the Attitude Era, they went PG. Like, there's no blood allowed in WWE.
Yeah, I remember blood back in the
days.
days.
Panties. Like, let's bring back panty matches, guys, And let's bring back blood. Let's bring back...
Yeah, I remember blood. I remember the magazines, especially, with the still shots of somebody's blood all down their face.
Yeah, man, that was great. They're cutting themselves and stuff. The old school wrestling, I don't know how they can
I remember the
get back towards that or what.
Was it chain match, dog collar match or something with Roddy Piper and
one of my favorites.
Was it Greg the Hammer? Maybe got in a fight where they had chains around each other and were choking each other with chains and beating each other with the chains.
Yeah,
and it was like.
My mom would be like, that's not real. And I'd be like, well, what's not real? This is real.
Yeah, and it was like, and I heard interviews, and these are many, many years later, with Roddy Piper, and he's like, we were beating each other up, for the show. We were,
Yeah, they had razor blades in their gloves.
Yeah, we weren't holding back because we wanted it to be good.
Yeah,
they were hurting each other and themselves.
There's the kayfabe. They use that as a term. There's kayfabe, and that's where it's a fake, and they both know it's a fake. But then there was a lot of shoots happening where things were happening for real. When somebody shoots on somebody, it's non-scripted and it's real. So, like, I believe my cousin Vicky, I'm not sure if this is a true story or not, but I remember hearing this back in the day, because my family was huge on, they pumped pro wrestling into certain areas, and Ohio was one of the areas that they pumped into initially from Georgia. They started in that Georgia studio. Well, the Road Warriors were in Canton or somewhere, and somebody actually came out and really hit one of the Road Warriors with a chair for real and put him in the hospital with a concussion and everything. Like, so they did shoots on each other too, you know. So bring back the shoots, man. Bring back characters.
I still wondered to this day. The most I know about it was I saw an interview with Roddy Piper again when he smashed the coconut on Jimmy Snuka's head.
Right, totally offensive.
And you know, he said it was a real damn coconut.
Yeah, and I mean, that just creates some real beef with people.
How could that be staged and Jimmy Snuka go along with getting a coconut cracked on his skull?
I mean, a lot of those guys, they were ready to sell themselves for that. Like Mick Foley, when he jumped off the top of the cage, you know, and crashed it, and he suffered like so many broken bones and concussions and stuff. Well, the WWE safeness policy or something, they came in and said there's no more of that.
Oh.
You know, I don't know. Owen Hart came down off that rope and he dropped on live TV and he died on live TV and stuff. You know, people are legit getting hurt and stuff. And you know, wrestlers, they didn't have a retirement program, so there's a lot of wrestlers that are like. There's a good documentary called Beyond the Mat, which actually shows Jake the Snake Roberts smoking crack.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and he's been reduced to wrestling at a carnival, and he's like backstage at this carnival, and he refuses to go out and wrestle unless he has crack cocaine, you know. And so it really shows like, because Vince McMahon was just eating these guys up and throwing them away.
Yeah. So now would you say that movie was exploitive?
It exploited the whole scene. It showed what was
were they
really
taking advantage of these guys being down on their luck, or do you think there was a real message?
Yeah, I think it was a real message. He was trying to show like how. I would say probably now I bet you they have health plans and everything now.
Yeah.
But the WWE had to scale back down. They had to cut so many wrestlers to where they just have like basically a team or whatever. You know, there's probably 20 wrestlers maybe that actually are working. You know, in the WWE, and then also like the bring back steroids, man. Let them guys get stupid beefed up. I want them to look like cartoon characters. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want to see live cartoons. I want to see live superheroes. That's my take on wrestling.
Yeah, I just saw a video clip. Somebody, and this is old, obviously. It was right after the Chris Benoit thing.
Valerie's saying hi.
Hello, Valerie. I hope you're doing swell. I hope you're feeling better.
Feel better.
Yeah, about the whole roid thing or whatever, but pro wrestling is not.
I am
the NFL. It is not the NBA.
Right.
It is
a freak show. It should be a freak show.
It is 100% entertainment.
Yeah, and it's like there's something in our culture that wants to see that type of violence. It's been since Rome.
Yeah.
There's something in it. I guess like when we quit hunting the herds, when we quit becoming hunters ourselves or whatever, at some point we still
needed that violence.
We still need that violence. We need to see it, man. There's something in us that wants to see us.
The blood sport, yes, has always been around, and now you can enjoy it from your favorite comfy chair.
That's right.
And not have to worry about getting hurt.
Facts.
Oh no. Do we want to do the gender roles? You wrote that down.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
What is?
I don't know. Things are becoming a little bit PC, man. One of my best friends in life, Morgan. What's up, Morgan? I love you to death. She's I was at her house. It was like New Year's Eve a year or so back, and we're playing the game of life. And, you know, but a a guy and a guy can get married and have a kid or whatever. It's fine or whatever, you know.
Oh, okay.
But then we were playing Clue, and even like the names in Clue, everything's becoming like very, because it's this PC type thing that they're doing or whatever, and
where they're worried about offending somebody?
Yeah, I don't know if they're worried about offending somebody. I mean, like, you know, I think to each their own. Everybody let everybody be who they are, you know? Like, you know, if you're not hurting anybody, and, you know, you should teach kids, you know, like, love is love. I don't care if it's 2 guys, 2 girls, a guy and a dog. I don't care. Whatever it is.
Well, that's illegal now.
Right. Well, let that be or whatever, but gender roles, I think we need to keep some of them things because it's just a fact. Like, I'm not saying like, you know,
I'll be back.
Like guys are physically stronger than girls. Girls are way smarter than guys. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely
they
have their ways.
It's just facts, man. They're smarter than us. Period. We need to keep gender roles. You know, like let's just because, you know, like there's nothing wrong with a guy
being masculine.
There's nothing wrong with that. If a girl's changing a tire and you come and you help her change that tire, are you an asshole? Like you can't do it as a woman? No, I feel like it's a chivalry. It's a move of class. You know, like
I believe in that also. There's definitely been, you know, you watch TV, you watch the commercials, and what you see a lot of is the men being wimps on TV a lot.
Right, and I don't.
And being very feminized.
Right. And the whole bully thing and stuff that's going down now and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, dude, somebody fucking hits my kid and stuff. Like back in my day, my dad would be like, "You take a rock to school when you bash that guy in the head the next day."
Yeah.
Like that type stuff, man. I don't know where we're going with this, but I
Yeah,
don't think we're heading in the right direction, man. Like, let's be okay with gender roles. There's nothing wrong with it, man. If you're a man, be a man. If you're a woman, be a woman. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Women, you know, they do things that we can't. We do things that they can't. Let's just accept that.
Yeah.
Let's just accept that.
There is a problem, with things getting over PC'd.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
having to worry about stepping on toes.
Right.
Now here's the weird thing. At the very same time we're talking about this, and I say this, the very same time, if somebody wants to live their life as what was once called alternatively or whatever, I'm like, well, God love them. You know, I'm not going to tell them what to do, but also in respecting them, you should be able to respect the traditional, what we're talking about too.
Right, and also,
I mean,
like, how far are you going to take it? Like, you identify as being a kitten?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like...
I'm all about people. I think life should be about...
Be a kitten, but I'm not going to sit and call you a kitten when you're obviously in a cat outfit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, which year is that?
I don't even know where that's going, but I saw a cool meme on the internet. It was a giant truck on the road, like a travel trailer or whatever, and it said this trailer doesn't need to conform to like general rules of the road because it identifies as a Prius. And I was like, man, that just really hit on
nice.
The head, you know what I mean? Like,
beautiful.
Like, I'm gonna respect and like don't be an asshole. Don't be violent. Don't steal from people and do your thing. I'm gonna respect you and let you be. But don't command that I call you by this gender pronoun. There's a really good guy named Jordan Peterson that got into a lot of issues. There's if you look up Jordan Peterson on YouTube and stuff, he was a English professor or something along those lines, but he got into so much heat over these gender roles and gender pronouns and stuff that they actually removed him from his job. You know.
Oh gosh.
Well, these people were like showing up at his rallies and becoming completely violent and stuff over all this. Like, don't become violent over this stuff.
Well, Sean's agreeing with you on this.
These you're making yourself look retarded, man. These like like these liberals and stuff, it's not working, man. Don't do that. Don't be an asshole. Don't become violent to prove your point. Like, it's almost like things switched, man. At some point, like,
I've noticed that too.
Yeah,
the people who and I am generalizing. Okay, I'm generalizing here, but what traditionally seemed to be more of the pacifists ended up kind of going what you're talking about, radical and violent.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is that's what you're talking about here?
Yeah.
Well, that's like when I saw oh, hi to your mom, Sean. When I saw, when I saw that when Obama was in office and all the warmongering from Democrats, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And for the record here, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, all right? Let's get that straight. I don't subscribe to either side here. I mean, and I'm not a political talk show host. Yeah. But what I'm saying is I saw the traditional peace-loving people all of a sudden promoting war and wanting blood, and I'm like, what the hell just happened here?
Right. It was crazy.
I'm like, and that's just reinforced what I believe is really going on with the whole political system. I believe it's designed to polarize the American public to keep us at odds.
I'm seeing it happen in
I don't think,
family, man. I'm seeing my own family go to blows over Trump.
I don't think it's about really that even necessarily these people who are out here preaching this shit, these politicians, I don't think they even necessarily believe what they're saying, but it is to divide people.
Right.
It's to take the attention off of them and keep us commoners fighting.
Right.
Let's keep the poor people and the working class at odds with each other, and
it's so ridiculous.
Then we don't have to worry about them.
I have family members that are just ready to fight over Trump. Like, yep. I'm not gonna argue you or not be your family or your cousin or whatever because of the price of gas or who's in office or who you like as a football team.
Right.
Like, we can agree to disagree, but like, man, it's almost like arguing with the drunk person. Like, there's never going to be a resolve.
Nobody.
You know what? You have a good point there, and like, argue their side, argue my side. There's no resolve.
No, and it ends up being a case where the person who people start thinking if they scream the loudest, then they're the most right, and it's like it's sad to see people part ways because falling for this political shit.
Maybe it's a good thing because you did see a lot of true colors come out with this Trump thing, man. You've seen a lot of racist undertones that were always there. Yeah, like you were thinking like after Obama and stuff, like maybe we're starting to get towards a more progressive mindset that no, we're not. It's not up in the Midwest, man. We are still.
Here's another thing though, Scott. Here's another question though, and this is about what you're saying here too. How much of it is perception and what's the reality? Because what you see on the news is all divisive. It's all hate.
Right.
It's all about hate. But I'm walking the streets, dude, and I'm not seeing all that much. I'm seeing a lot of people getting along with each other.
Right.
I'm seeing a lot of people, dude, in some rougher areas showing love.
Right.
For their fellow brothers and sisters, despite the colors. I've seen a lot of that, dude. Meanwhile, same day on the TV, I'm seeing these people can't stand each other. And I'm like, well, that's completely different than what I'm seeing out in the world.
Right. Well,
is it just this spot, or it makes me think, the news is a political engine.
I look at it like the difference between, like, walking and driving, man. If I'm walking around, I'm walking around and somebody bumps me and gets in front of me or whatever. 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to be like, bitch, what the fuck? But if you're in a car You're laying on that board.
Yeah, people tend to really...
So you have this bubble that you're in or whatever.
Right.
And then especially when you get on the internet or whatever, now you have an even safer bubble.
Oh my gosh.
Now
people become internet badasses.
Now,
don't they?
now
Don't
you
they?
can talk some real shit. You can really say some bullshit because you're
Yeah.
behind,
I've seen
you're in your
people...
own home, you know?
I've seen people talk smack when veterans were on there from overseas on YouTube comments and stuff, and they're talking about internet badass trolls about how they'd be doing this and that, and they're probably some pimply faced kid or overgrown kid living in their parents' basement, and they're an internet badass. They're just talking shit like they've been there and done it, and it's like, here comes another call. It's probably horseshit. What do we got here? Big facts. Big facts. I mean, really, I don't know. If you guys have seen before, I come from a mindset of as long as you aren't forcing your shit down my throat and whatever it takes you to be happy, if you're not hurting me or hurting someone else, breaking some kind of law against nature, then God love you. I don't have to live your life. Right, but I know you were raised your parents were very accepting of everyone. Yeah, I know you weren't. It wasn't like, but man, you have some people that they grew up with some just some straight racism. You're gonna have to overcome that type stuff. But man, you're gonna have that. For us to sit around and be like, oh, that doesn't exist anymore, or it wasn't. I didn't enslave these people or whatever. Like, here's the timeline of life. Like, here's the timeline of all existence. Like, slavery was like yesterday. So yeah, is it still in the mindset? Hell yeah. And you know what? Also, we're not taught things correctly in school. There was people here. We didn't discover America. Yeah. And all the Mexicans are taking our jobs or whatever. California is basically northern Mexico, and as far as taking our jobs, they work rings around people, man. Like, yeah, and there's another, oh my gosh, there's another hour or two. Yeah, big one. And, the thing is, oh my gosh, and that's such a hot issue. It is, man. Right now it's red hot with Trump being in office. I heard recently Trump's talking about legalizing weed federally. Now, if he does that, he's going to pull so many votes from people that he didn't have. He's already got a strong enough base that he won, which was pretty crazy. But if he goes ahead and makes some kind of a federal move towards plays the let's legalize weed. If he does the legalize weed card, man. Yeah. You know what? I agree. I think a lot of people will be. A lot more people are going to be more receptive to him, and that may be the beginning of the end. Like, we might have weed legal for about a year before, nuclear war. The apocalypse? Right. We finally come here. If he makes weed legal, man, y'all better just sit back and smoke because it's coming down. It's going down. It's going downhill. Yeah, then the big war in the Middle East, man, the big one. Man, and and everybody's going to be pulled into that shit. I don't know why we're picking fights so thoroughly. Oh my gosh, yeah. And here's the thing, the American public is not behind all the more warmongering. I don't think the average American wants us to perpetually be at war, which is what we have been doing, We do, as long as we have our comfort. Yeah. As long as we can sit and watch Fox News and we're sitting air conditioned, we can be like, yeah, fuck them, bomb them motherfuckers. That's what they get, America. But see, that's the weird thing, dude. I've seen the warmongering from both sides now. Yeah. That scared me. Right, but take away our creature comforts and see. Yeah. Like, take this as a scenario. Take the Cleveland to Massillon, take the 330 area code, and knock out our electric for 5 days. Oh, gosh. What happens day 2, day 3, day 4? Oh, gosh. Just plant that seed and think about it, y'all. Savagery. About day 2,
that's when all the rich people are like, yo, we're out of here. We can't handle it. You move all them to FEMA camps. They're already set up for it. Here, just come over here.
So you believe in the FEMA camps being set up for
Well, I believe the meek,
something.
The meek shall inherit the earth. That's what it means, man. Who's going to be left after about day 2 or 3? The homeless, the people that can't afford to move, the rioters, the looters. So now about day 2 or 3,
and possibly those few people who actually have communities and know their neighbors.
right? So about day 2 or 3 of a blackout. Now all the people with money or whatever has moved out. Now the looting and the robbing is beginning or whatever. The meek starts to inherit the earth, literally. Now what happens about day 3 or 4 if 300 guerrilla soldiers that have been training for this mission pop out in this area? What happens then?
Yeah.
Think about that, because I've never seen no National Guard riding around. You really think like the police force are going to be there to protect our asses? Y'all better load up on guns. It's going to be
care of their
dawn.
kids.
We're going to be all like, Wolverines. We're going to have like headbands. I want to be around, I want to be around my hillbilly friends that have dried meat products. And
Yeah, I was going to say the Amish will probably be cool, dude.
I want to be around my dudes in Cleveland that are got guns like the Taliban, you know what I'm saying?
I imagine the
Dan
Amish
Dicker
will
on
probably be
board.
cool. What's up, Dan?
3D.
I'll bet you the Amish would be cool. They'd be straight, dude, because I'll bet they're a lot better armed than they let on.
And they have candles.
And they know how to they have candles, and they know how to survive.
Right.
I'm sorry, but
they have
I go down.
food, they have
I
cheap
go right
products.
down the damn street, and there's a kindergarten kid pushing a lawnmower with the blades and shit that's been around. That's what they're doing. Little ass kids.
That's just taking away our creature comforts. It's real easy to sit in a house and say bomb them,
Yeah.
But I'm telling you,
But when the shit comes home, it'd be a totally different
all they
story.
would have to do is knock out an electrical grid, man. Just think about that. Like, plant that and think about, like, what happens in a 5-day period if Cleveland, Ohio does a blackout. I mean, we already seen what happened in New Orleans. How long did it take them to get any type of help?
Right. And Cleveland's kind of a cold New Orleans.
Right now, now if they've planned this and trained for it, it's just say around day 3 or 4, they boom 100 guerrilla soldiers pop out, and they already know.
You mean like government?
No,
ones?
like from
or
another,
like a militia,
like a militia from another place, like a bunch of Hebrew soldiers pop out day 3 or 4, and they already know their strategic points that they're going to take over or whatever.
Okay. You're talking foreign guerrillas.
I mean, like if they did it in California, like say you take out Santa Cruz or San Diego, a whole fucking electric grid, boom, and then you flood it.
Yeah. Because
the water's right there, it'd be an easy flood. You flood it, so even if they do reestablish electric, it's flooded. It's gonna be a fucking mess, dude. And then you have I would say you could probably take over an area like this is probably treason to be talking like this, but you could probably take over an area like 330 or something. You could probably take over the 330 with, I would say, 100 soldiers could probably take this area over.
Hardcore Canadians,
right.
Or who?
There's all these people that they ain't taking my guns. They ain't doing this. They ain't doing that. Man, y'all, who's ready? I'm not ready. I don't have no stockpile of ammunition or food or anything. I'm not ready for no apocalyptic situation. And we're just like, we're riding along thinking that, this could never happen. Well,
that has been a thing I've wondered, is just how fine is the line between civilized
and savage?
Yeah, and just how easy it would be to instantly turn back the clock as far as civilization. And electricity is it.
Electricity would be huge.
I mean, that's the big one.
You're taking away food sources, all kinds of things.
And most of the youth would have no idea what the hell to do.
And then,
they'd be helpless.
All the patriots, all the fucking good old boys and stuff, they come out, well, who did it? Well, then you just send them over to whatever country that has financial things that you want. Oh, that's what they did with Afghanistan or something. Let's go over there. Let's get this one guy. He did that. Remember Gaddafi?
Oh, yeah.
No, but what happened with Gaddafi? I don't know. He's still alive.
Did it ever seem strange to you? Maybe there isn't anything to it, and maybe it's, this is something we shouldn't even talk about. because what you were saying about treason or whatever, because free speech is kind of dead.
We'd be pretty awesome if we got busted for treason.
Oh, okay. So you want me to talk about this?
Yeah, I mean,
you want to hear about this?
If enough people,
all right. Check this out,
people
dude.
watch this.
Ever seems strange to you? Ever seems strange to you? Okay. First, the doctors get. Okay, we're from Ohio. We know this shit. Doctors get everybody hooked on opiates here. We know that. The pain clinics and everything else. They did that years ago. Okay. Got them hooked on it. Then there's backlash. They do 180. They're not prescribing shit. Right?
Right.
Okay. Something's going on. We're in Afghanistan. Where is the largest collection of poppy growing?
Right. Facts.
In Afghanistan.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Have you ever thought about the coincidence of that? I'm not saying I know the answers here, guys, but I'm saying that's a hell of a coincidence.
I've thought about how smart Trump is saying that.
You know what I mean? Think about it.
Right. Right. It's a hell of a coincidence.
And now
everything goes back.
Heroin is huge.
Right. And then
so what? Maybe they're producing opium and shit now down in Mexico.
Absolutely.
But in Afghanistan, it was like one of the number one cash crops.
I always thought that was the funniest joke that Trump had, because he's like, the Mexican people are going to pay for the wall. And we're like, blah, blah. And the Mexican people are like, hell no, or whatever. Well, obviously, they're not going to cut us a check for the goddamn wall.
Right.
But if we build a wall, then we have this wall and we can say, hey, you can come through, but you got to pay this.
Right.
So are the Mexicans going to pay for the wall? Yeah, they absolutely are. We build it. They're going to pay for it indirectly.
Yeah, like a toll road.
Like a toll road. It's a money maker, man.
And see,
it's not to keep people out. It's to keep our investments where they're standing at.
And here's the thing. I believe in the American dream. I mean, let's face it, we wouldn't be here. Immigration, we're not, if that wasn't a big part of America.
Right, absolutely.
I believe in having some control over how many people come in. I do believe in that. Because, I understand the need for knowing just what the hell is going on here. Economically, how many people we have and shit like that. I understand that. But, same time, this is America. We are a home of immigrants that beat the shit out of a lot of people to have this place.
Right.
I mean,
really
like you said, we didn't discover it.
We didn't.
Our European forefathers were not here first.
There's a huge animosity, and especially in Southern California, they don't want whitey there, man. They don't. I'm just saying, they just don't. And you know what? At first, I was like, why? Why are they feeling like, why, man? Like they're just judging me based on, because we have a bloody culture. Our culture is bloody. It's not like we have anything. We came here and we raped and pillaged and took and everything. There's a backlash to that's going to happen. In Southern California, especially the natives, not the Latinos exist too, but the Native Americans that are there in the Venice Beach area and stuff, they have this thing called the Red River, and it was initially to describe what we did to the people when we came there or whatever. Well, there's a new Red River that they talk about now, and they talk about with a smile because it's yet to come.
Okay, I see where this is going.
There's a new Red River, and it's
one that is to be made.
Yeah, it's not a painful what you've done to us. Now there's a revenge.
Well,
I think karmically we got it coming. I hate to say it. I'm not on no white guilt shit or whatever, and I'm not trying to like be part of something that I'm not. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to like or whatever. But we have a backlash that's what we get. That's what
we've inherited.
We've inherited some culturally, karmically bad things as a people and stuff. I mean, that's a part of the reason why I really, really liked Cash Money when they came out, because everyone's like
Cash Money
records, Lil Wayne, all that stuff, the gold tank, the diamond teeth, the money, piles of cocaine, fucking like we're fucking your daughter and we got drug money and stuff and all my friends when I worked at a predominantly black area in Cleveland and a black tattoo shop and stuff, and their take for the most part was like, this is not progressing our culture. This is not good for our culture. This is actually putting us back or whatever. But I love the fact that it pisses off the middle class so much to see that. And that's what we get. That's what we get. That's what we get for holding people down and enslaving them. And the fact that now, because if I can't get a job because I have a DUI on my record as a white veteran or whatever, I have problems because I have marijuana in my system getting a job. Imagine if you're a black man and you have a bit of a record or whatever. It's damn near impossible, man. I don't put it past nobody. Get your money, man. Get your money, people.
Once again, I have, let's see, what up, Francis? How we doing? We have been talking about all kinds of shit.
Yeah, we've been kind of all over the place.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I was gonna say that is just what happens here, anyways. All coming out of the kitchen. Scott's inspecting
There's
a model.
the stoner in me, y'all. Look, I'm like, this right here. I swore that was a bud. I was like, whoa, there's a bud right there. It looks like a nice green bud.
Yeah, in our house, it is definitely not one of those. But let's see. Glad you're doing good. Wow, you missed a whole bunch of stuff, but that's a good thing about this because I can save it and people can watch it afterwards.
For sure.
We've talked about apocalyptic things and
wrestling
and some of the ideas or things you seem to foresee are a bit, what would we say, nihilistic?
Yeah, I am a bit nihilistic about things. Because I just feel like, man, like I don't feel like we're the good guys, man. Like if you want to really go apocalyptic, it says what? Antichrist comes in the name of God, world gets destroyed by fire. It sure sounds like America. In God we trust.
So you believe things will unfold as foretold thousands of years ago?
I'm pretty sure things have unfolded and started over more than we care to admit. Like, I'm pretty sure society was built up way more than we ever imagined and then just got wiped out and started over. Like, and it also, all religion, to make any kind of religion or faith true, it always ends in a bloody end. Every religion ends in some kind of apocalyptic end. So there's this push towards, like, destroying the world and starting over in every religion. So, like, and everyone seems to think that their God is right or whatever, but it's always the same no matter what. There's always this push towards, like, let's destroy this motherfucker and start over. And
rebuild.
Right,
Smush, wipe.
Smush,
plan it all over again.
Plan it all over again and stuff. But so, how are we going to get world unity? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think it's really possible. Here's the thing. Okay, yeah, I was going to say when everybody's united against one bad guy. Remember 9/11? Remember after 9/11?
Right. It was proud to be an American.
The enrollment into the armed forces went up.
Right.
Everybody's pissed off. You got a bad guy.
Right.
You got Americans, all colors and now economic backgrounds. All of a sudden, we're brothers.
Now we're brothers. Yeah.
And you took down our towers. You hit our symbol, or our economic symbol.
Right.
They attacked the Pentagon, for crying out loud.
Well, that's another thing too. I really strongly believe every civilization that's ever been, Rome, all that, what always happens? There's always a decline and a destruction, no matter how great. So we have the greatest country in the world, and it's so modernized now. We're not going to see a sea of red coats coming over, and we're going to be like, that's the enemy, and here they come to attack us, and we're going to defend them, or whatever. Like, America's going to get picked apart like AIDS, like a disease, like, boop, boop, boop,
or run from the inside out.
Yeah, that's what I foresee. That's what, like I think.
Wow, this is grim. This is grim shit, ain't it?
And then there's be another one. Boop, boop, boop.
Sorry to be so grim, guys. This is just, I don't know. This is just the way it's going today, I guess.
Yeah,
it happens. But
Smoke more weed. Don't steal from your friends.
there's Scott's answer to world peace. I don't know, man. I've got a little bit of hope, a little bit of optimism in me.
Me too. Man.
I don't want to say I'm completely idealistic.
I think the internet is like one of the greatest things that's ever happened. We have a world of knowledge at our fingertips, and now, they can't just teach us stuff in school, and that's what we
and
know.
Expect us to swallow it whole.
Right, because now we can double check and fact
Yeah.
check. So that maybe be the saving grace, the fact that the communication has become so great, and you don't have to go to the library to look up things or whatever. It's right there at the palm of your hand.
Another thing.
We watch cat videos all day.
Yeah, I watch them from time to time to
so
pep up a little bit, but the internet is definitely one of the most revolutionary tools, technology, whatever the hell you want to call it, but at the same time, it is a beast.
It is, man.
It is. Well, it's a reflection of mankind, which you have the best and the worst right there.
And AI and stuff, that's a whole other thing coming down the tracks,
Yeah. Do you believe we are closer to it?
I believe
closer to AI or not?
I believe there's we already know there's cloned sheeps.
Well, yeah.
If there's smoke, there's fire, man. They didn't clone sheep without cloning people, man.
Dude, you cannot.
There's gotta be some monstrous things.
Oh yeah, there's gotta be some weird
ass things.
People things, because
Guaranteed.
I've thought about that too. If they've done it with sheep, somebody out there in some country, maybe our own, has done it with people. Just like, did you ever hear about the head transplants? Let's see, when it comes to the internet, it all depends on how you use it. And that's true too. And that is where having some common sense and discretion and choosing what you put in your brain is a big part of people's mental health nowadays, I believe. Because, we're seeing the teen suicide thing. Which I hate to even talk about.
Right.
But and so many of these cases come from people getting bombarded and bullied and shit on through the internet.
Yeah.
When, an older person who didn't grow up with the internet could easily say, turn that shit off. Don't pay any attention to it. Which makes sense. It is wise advice, but our youth, the millennials, have been indoctrinated and born into this techno age, okay? They've had the tablets thrown in their hands from pre-K grades. They have grown up on this shit.
Right.
That is their idea of a reality to a lot of people. And I'm generalizing, of course, there are exceptions. But, that is how a lot of these youth perceive things. I've seen... a lot of young people now, and teenagers or whatever, are very timid when it comes to face-to-face communication.
Yeah.
Don't know what the hell to do. Because, now they could text for hours on end. I've seen and heard of birthday parties for younger people, teenagers, or whatever. I've had kids go to birthday parties, and they're like, all everybody did was text.
Yeah,
they just sat around texted, and I'm like,
yeah,
what the hell?
I saw people on vacation in some of the most beautiful places you've ever seen, and they're all on their phone, Or Thanksgiving dinner, and everyone's on your phone, or whatever. They say the Amish people have less depression because they do all their dealings face-to-face.
Yeah, get that shit out.
Everything's face-to-face. It's a handshake agreement or whatever.
Yeah.
Back to my point of, walking versus in a car, I very rarely you ever see people blow up on each other in the store. Now, you get them out in the parking lot, and once they get in that little bubble of their car, now it's a different thing.
Their little mobile castle.
Right. So, I don't know, man. I know that I don't know. That's for sure.
it's and that's the thing about life. It's like with each revelation, there's more questions. And I'm glad that I can't conceive of everything. Sometimes, and that's another thing with the internet where it can be bad is you're like, there's so much, and sometimes I think you got to take a damn break from it.
Yeah. I
It's
mean, I did
so bombarding.
Like for the most part, last 8-9 months or so, in California, I did not miss having a phone. I did not miss the internet. I didn't miss it. It's a big world out there. I was gonna say now since being back home or whatever, man, I'm like, man, I don't know if I could live without it. Like, I love music. I love listening to music. I like being able to communicate with people. But like, we were fine without it, man.
We survived without shit. And it used to be, when you wanted to get a hold of somebody, if you didn't get a hold of them through that phone, then you geographically traveled. To find them, sought them out. Had an adventure right there.
Right.
I remember bicycling over a mile or so to get to somebody's house to find out they're not there.
Yeah.
End up hanging out with somebody you didn't intend on hanging out with and making a different adventure. And nowadays, it's just...
Right, we were building forts in the woods, and
right.
We're getting all old, like back in my day.
Back in my day, well, it is. I mean, we are older now. We don't like to admit it. I try to think I'm younger. I don't feel like I'm older.
I feel
better
my
back
now
hurts.
than I felt when I was in my 20s, but I'm going a lot less hard than I did in my 20s, actually.
Well, you definitely...
I've scaled back on everything, man. I just found out what works for me, man. Point blank, and that's how I feel about anything. Like, I'm not here to judge anybody, man. But find out what works for you, and do that. And I'm not a proponent. I mean, like, for me, like a lot of people are. I don't know what people are dealing with or overall or whatever, but What works for me is, it might not work for somebody else, but it works for me. Like I can't drink, I can't do hard stuff or whatever. Like it never works out. But I've seen people that can drink every day and go to work and not be an asshole.
Some people can pull that shit off.
And pull it off or whatever. Whatever works for you. Just my whole thing is don't be an asshole and don't steal from people. Like, and I'm a hypocrite. I get it, but. Try, try.
Yeah, well, I'm saying this right now because somebody could be watching. I'm not a mental health expert or anything like that, but I think now more than ever, people have to put aside the stigma of people need to be more ready to ask for help.
Right, because
out there, instead of worrying about what the hell somebody thinks, piss on them.
Right, I remember when it was like, he's bipolar, oh my god, that guy's nuts.
Right, I mean,
now everybody's bipolar.
I mean, if you are at the point where you're thinking, I could be better off not being alive, then you need to ask for help.
Facts.
I mean, that's just, ask for help, and you know what, if sometimes... And don't expect the first person you talk to necessarily help you either. So, I mean, that happens is you might talk to somebody and then you get a negative, well, just get over it and all that shit. And it's like, you know what? Piss on that person too.
Right.
Keep going. Don't stop, because as horrible as things can be right this minute, they can be that good the next.
Right.
Although it doesn't seem possible. I know. I've been at the bottom. I've been there. But don't be afraid to ask for help.
I've been at the bottom and I've dug a hole and then dynamited that bitch.
Yeah.
So you can go lower.
And it might take some effort. It might take elbow grease to find help. Unfortunately.
Right. And what works for some people doesn't work for everybody else. Like, I see a lot of people when I went through the AA program, and God bless it, it's a great program. It works. It works. But, I mean, they preach a spirit. There has to be some type of spiritual awakening, and there has to be some kind of bottom line trauma or hurt or something at the bottom of it or whatever. Yes, sure, but also like is total abstinence the way or whatever. And I tried, failed or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you went to AA?
I went to AA, and it
okay.
works. It like they say, it works as if you work it. But me,
what you put into it, huh?
My personality is if I sit and talk about how bad pizza is for an hour or two, I want a pizza. I just want to eat that. Like
it's done. Occupied your mind.
Yeah, it's so bad for me, but I want a pizza.
Yeah, so
that's where I get to, you know, find what works for you and do that shit, man.
But don't stop. Don't stop trying.
Don't judge people, and don't be like, man, you got to do it this way or the highway.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, and if you're, you know, here's another thing. You know, fucking take a break from the horse shit. Sit back. Throw some wasted lunch on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let us do the worrying for you. And, you know, yeah, dude, grab some. Yeah, I guess I could go for more coffee. I don't need it, but damn it, I'm going for it.
Gravity works everywhere.
Yes, Dankeschön. Yeah, one of the few German words I know. Isn't that nice? You know, I'm like most other people from Ohio, part German, and I don't know shit about it.
If you're not shaking, you need another cup.
Yeah. And my wife's got a coffee sign that says, if you're not shaking, you need another cup. And that sums it up around here, all the damn coffee.
This is very interesting right here.
Ah!
A mini sword.
Honky pulled a blade on me.
Fairly sharp, too.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Make a nice earring.
That'd be a heavy-ass earring,
but...
but...
style, but...
I don't even know how I got on to talking about that, but that concerns me, and I think people really need to get the hell out there. But, you know, yeah, I use that as a plug for Wasted Lunch.
This is sweet.
But, yeah, hop on Wasted Lunch. I'm always, you know, converse with me, bullshit with me.
Hell yeah, listen to us at your job, because we ain't working.
Yeah, we're not, so neither should you. On that note...
Quit your job, find your work.
Yeah. Quit your job, just watch Wasted Lunch, and, you know.
Yeah. Do your thing, man.
Yeah, well,
consume.
And that's...
Be a consumer.
Be an American. Consume. Spend, buy. Have
consume.
as much shit as you can. You know? Gosh. Nothing exceeds like excess. And that is what being an American is about sometimes. Having all the goodies. All mine. All mine.
If anyone has like podcast equipment, microphones, anything you'd like to donate to this program, please do.
Good point. Because I don't have the technology stuff.
Yeah, any type of microphone, podcasting equipment, or even if you know somewhere where we could go ahead and like get Paul hooked up with this stuff, because he's doing this every day, man. I know a couple of you guys are watching this stuff. It's entertaining to me, man. You know?
Yeah, I
love listening.
I'm trying to find another, I don't know the right word for it, dude, venue or whatever where I can simultaneously cast on my Facebook Live, and there's something else for other people who are not Facebook Live people, to where I can hit more people, talk about more subjects. And, you know, and remember, guys, when I was talking about, talk to me if you got shit wrong with you. I'm not a mental health expert, but what I'm saying is, you know, you're always welcome to comment. You know, I'm always welcoming comments on here because, you know, that's what makes this fun. Going back and forth, conversing. Because I don't know it all.
You should have an open forum for people that want to come on as well, you know.
Right. Well, I've been trying to pull more people on camera, too. Via their phone.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, somehow, Scott, you are watching this.
Yeah, my mom's probably.
Oh, okay, your mom's watching via your phone.
Probably.
But I think we're gonna wrap this up. But
yeah, let's wrap it up.
I just want to say, hey, thanks for watching, guys, and you know, much love to you guys. Whoever you are, wherever you are, take care of yourselves. I want to thank Scott for hopping on here, dude.
Man,
thanks
as
for
always.
And opening up your heart and
I'm an open book.
Your past and letting us know, because I mean, you've been some places and seen some things that most of us will not. Thanks, Sean. You have a good day as well, brother. And take care of yourselves. And remember, as far as any of the shit we say to do or whatever, the real one is, if shit's wrong, get help. Don't be afraid to. That's all I'm saying. If you're in a bad spot, don't be afraid to ask for help, because there's plenty of help out there. You just might have to search. There's hotlines, there's centers for, you know, and nobody wants to say, I have a mental health problem. Nobody likes those words.
Right, nobody wants to be that.
Okay, but the fact is that I'll bet you more people have mental health problems than don't.
Absolutely.
Once you're 30 or 40.
Right.
I'll bet. So,
yeah,
you need that medicine and shit, then...
You can have nothing wrong and just have the people around you cause you to have problems.
So do that, because I love you guys, and that's why I'm saying it. So, and thanks for watching, guys. We're gonna hop off of here, and be cool, and be safe, and have fun whatever you're doing. Love one another, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.